fundraisers, etc.
Good morning, everyone. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And, of course, thank you, Tim K, for that super chat. Good morning. Brian, can't wait for Frank to start up. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that right at the top. Tim K, thank you for that super chat. Good morning, Brian. Can't wait for Frank to start up. Yeah, did I read the same one twice? No, George. George says, enjoy your first cup of coffee on me. Well, everyone, thank Tim and George for those super chats. Thank you very much. Here we go. Thank you very much. Here we go. Make sure you get all your friends to subscribe, and everybody in the chat, like the video. Liking the video helps spread the word a lot. Here we go.
Longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now.
Hey guys, welcome. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. It's 5 after 6 o'clock in the morning, Monday, April 19th, 2021. And man, do we got a lot to talk about, whether it's, we're going to get into this Maxine Waters business in just a bit, because when she should be removed from Congress. There should be a big move to expel her from the Congress today. We're going to get into that. And I know there's a lot of anticipation because today is the big day that Mike Lindell's social media platform is expected to launch, and it is expected to go live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to thank Mike Lindell for timing his launch for after this program ends. Right as we say goodbye, it's supposed to go live. And Mike Lindell put a message up on his website, frankspeech.com. I'm excited to launch my new social media and broadcast platform, Frank, at 8 a.m. Central Time, which is 9 a.m. here on the East Coast, Monday morning today. I will be broadcasting live at frankspeech.com beginning at 9 a.m. Central, that's 10 a.m. Eastern. I will have an historical announcement. Mike Lindell says, I will have a historical announcement followed by a lineup of guests. Please sign up and create your personal profile at Frank beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday morning today, the 19th. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this, okay? Be prepared for glitches. You know, there's all these social media platforms out there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever they may be, Gab, whatever the social media platform is. There has never been, to my knowledge, if you can correct me on this, I'm always here to be corrected. I am not always right, although mostly I am, right? There has never been a social media platform that had tens of millions of people waiting for it to go live when it launched. All the other ones that are out there, no matter which one it is, TikTok, anything, whatever is out there in the social media sphere and related type of things, they just launched and no one knew about them. And then if they took off, they took off. We've never had something like this happen in the social media sphere. Okay? So when I expect glitch after glitch after glitch. I'm keeping my expectations very low for Frank Speech because of that. Right? I mean, think about it. If when Twitter or Facebook went live, 100 million people were going to jump on instantly and use it, what would have happened? And, you know, Frank Speech, it's not just people that are Trump people and great supporters of Mike Lindell who are waiting for it to launch and get on there today. The left-wing trolls are on standby too to try to overload the system if they can, and they're going to get on there and cause as much havoc and chaos as they can. So for every one of us that love and support Mike Lindell and Trump and all of that, for every one of us, there's at least 2 of them that are going to go over there and try to mess things up. So I expect it to be glitchy. I mean, think about it. Think about it. What social media platform has had maybe a couple 100 million people waiting for it to go live before? It's never happened. The last time there was, and Frank Speech is a website, frankspeech.com, Mike Lindell's social media platform. Now again, I want to hear all your thoughts on this. The last time a website had this many people waiting for it to go live, do you know what it was? What website was it? I know. There's been one other time in the history of the internet, to my knowledge, where hundreds of millions of people were waiting for a website to go live like they are with frankspeech.com today. Do you know what it was? The Obamacare website. And look what happened. It was a total collapse. So, yeah, remember that? The Obamacare website? It just immediately couldn't handle what was happening. Now, there's a big difference between the Obamacare website and Frank Speech. Obamacare website was done through government contracts and government people, and that's always subpart of what the private sector does. And I imagine Mike Lindell, they've been doing all kinds of testing and everything. But don't expect to be on there and have miracles today. If we do, that'll be wonderful. I hope all goes well. But I've been watching people online, including people in this audience, on social media, and expectations are so high. Let's bring those expectations down a little bit and be realistic. And the media, if it is glitchy today, the media are going to have huge stories on it. They don't want to report, the media do not want to report on Frank Speech. And the reason they don't want to report on Frank Speech is because they don't want people to know about it. And CNN figures, well, if we don't report on it, millions won't know about it. That's how they are. They're suppressors of information, not real sharing of news. But when Frank Speech goes live today, if there is a glitch, and it gets really glitchy, even the people over at CNN are going to have a hard time not reporting on it. Also this. Rush Limbaugh, it was on his first show after the Capitol breach. I was listening. His first show back after the Capitol breach. He says, they're listening to us, they are monitoring us to make sure that we don't say one word or one syllable out of line. There's a similar thing with Frank Speech today. Okay? The left will be monitoring everything on Frank Speech. Mike Lindell will be, I guess, hosting a large video premiere, which I'm assuming will be live. And he's going to have a series of guests on there. If anyone says anything that the left deem inappropriate, it's going to be, boom, breaking news today. So, understand this. And this is a rule of thumb for me, okay? If I am, wearing Trump gear, for example, if I have a Trump hat on and I'm out, or a Trump t-shirt and I'm out and about, I'm on my best behavior, because when I have a Trump shirt on or a Trump hat on and I'm out in public, you are a reflection of President Trump. People, whatever you do, how you behave, the haters will transfer that to Trump. So if you have a Trump hat on or a Trump shirt and you act like a jerk, some liberal's going to say, those Trump people. So you have to represent. Similar thing is going to be with Frank Speech. And if one lunatic gets on Frank Speech and does something inappropriate and wrong, breaking news. Frank Speech is going to have so many liberals on it pretending to be conservative MAGA people, saying offensive things, saying terrible things, because they want people to think that's MAGA. See, that's MAGA. So this is going to be an exciting week. It's going to be a rough week. There's going to be some ups. There's going to be some downs. I'm talking about just with Frank Speech, not the other news that we got to get to on the program today. So I know you guys are on standby. Just lower your expectations. And hopefully everything runs smoothly and it's spectacular and it's a happy, perfect MAGA utopia. But, you know, things like this, there are too many haters out there. You know, they brought down Parler. They brought down Parler. I mean, that's just the reality of it. They brought down Parler. Believe me. And so they got a victory. They're going to try to do the same thing here. And let's not help them. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not going to go through the list of things. But don't help the left in their mission to bring this down, frank speech, before it even begins. Because that's how these leftists are. All right? This is how the left are. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Now, while I'm talking about Mike Lindell, some of you know, if you follow me on YouTube, I made a video about this. On Saturday, my wife and I got our My Pillow mattress topper. Oh my goodness, I've slept on it 2 nights. And, you know, the My Pillow mattress topper, it's a miracle. It is a miracle. I'm going to be telling you guys so much about the My Pillow mattress topper, which, by the way, with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, get the mattress topper for 30% off, and you receive 2 free My Pillows. I use the promo code KANE, got mine for 30% off. You know, I have a strange schedule. I wake up during the week at 3:30 in the morning. Sometimes 3:30 in the morning. I wake up Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I never sleep in. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning on the weekends. So Saturday night, we put the My Pillow mattress topper on the bed. We slept on it Saturday night. For the first time in years, I woke up after the sun came up on the weekend. That's never happened. That's never happened. I woke up and the sun was up. That's how good the My Pillow mattress topper is. It's amazing. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. And by the way, I have a relatively new mattress, a very good mattress. That mattress topper, I can't even put words to explain how great this is. Another thing, and this was the main reason we got it, my wife's been having back problems. She's been waking up every day with back pain and shoulder pain. And that was the primary reason we got the My Pillow mattress topper, to try to help my wife with her back and shoulder pain that she was waking up with every morning. I mean, pretty severe. Sunday morning, she woke up, no pain, no back pain, no shoulder pain. It's absolutely amazing. You know, I've heard so many of our listeners talk about how much they love the My Pillow mattress topper, and they're amazing stories, but it wasn't until I experienced it myself. And today, something happened to me today that doesn't happen during the week. This morning, I woke up when my alarm went off. Second night sleeping with the My Pillow mattress topper. Usually I wake up long before my alarm goes off. Today, the alarm woke me up. That's how well I'm sleeping with the My Pillow mattress topper. Mother's Day's coming up. Give Mom the gift of a restful night's sleep with the My Pillow mattress topper. And Mom includes your mom, your wife, your grandmother, your daughter if she has kids. They will love it, and they'll wake up every morning, the mom on your Mother's Day list, thinking of you and this great gift, the My Pillow mattress topper. Again, go to mypillow.com, use the promo code KANE, 30% off the My Pillow mattress topper. You receive 2 free standard My Pillows. If you want to see it, my wife and I made a video of unboxing it and putting it on our bed and making the bed with the mattress topper. It's on my YouTube channel. I put it up over the weekend. Brian Craig on YouTube. You can take a look. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right. We'll take our first break of the week, come back with your calls, and jump into some of these other issues as well. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's our number, 888-465-2631.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse...
Yes, if you go, I made a whole YouTube video. It's on my channel here. Put it up over the weekend. It shows the mattress topper. It actually, you don't just put it on the top of your mattress. It has straps that go underneath your mattress. Yeah, and it doesn't move. It doesn't slide.
Incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable.
Well, thank you, Darren.
You don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning, Brett.
Hey, Richie the bus driver. Yeah. He's going to tell us what Steve
Hilton
did last night, right?
I have to watch every word I'm going to say, so I'm going to try it.
You don't have to watch what you say. You just have to have common sense. But go ahead. What's on your mind?
Mike Lindell is a great thing because this is super important to the communication of patriots, okay? Because they've cut us off, totally cut us off. But then again, I want to ask you, what do you think is a bigger problem with our country? The physical threat from the other side against our inner cities and everything else. Because yesterday, by the way, I was watching. I don't know. I turn on YouTube and I look to see where there's live stuff going on, and they had a big rally at the George Floyd Memorial yesterday, and it happened to have been Asian and indigenous people joining ranks with blacks against white supremacy.
Well, I wasn't invited. I'm indigenous to America. You're indigenous to America, aren't we? Indigenous people too.
Yeah, I mean now they have the Asians joining forces against whites. That's we can knock the worst. I know. What are they looking for here? They're threatening to burn cities down. What do they really want out of this whole situation? I mean, Mike Lindell. Okay, we need the communication, but which is a bigger threat?
So this is Richie's daily call that I have not touched on the daily topic that he thinks I should have led with. I tell you, Richie. I mean, we're here for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. If I don't mention something that's on your list of what I should start with in the first 15 minutes, I will probably get to it at some point. I mean, it's not your personal radio show where you turn on the topic by request, Richie. I mean, and if you go on my YouTube, you'll see what I have there is the thumbnail and the topic on the YouTube description, which involves exactly what you're talking about. All right, we'll talk to you later. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, good morning, Mike and Boca.
Georgia Peach, $20 super sticker. Yeah, Mike, go ahead. Everybody, thank Georgia Peach for that $20 super sticker. Thank you.
What do you think is going to happen on Court TV this morning?
What's going to happen with Maxine Waters?
Yeah, on Court TV.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with Maxine Waters. We're going to talk about it. Nothing.
I don't think so either.
Nothing. We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to play the audio in just a bit. But Maxine Waters, when you're a Democrat, in particular a Democrat who is black, you've got complete immunity. There's all this talk of racism and discrimination. It seems to me that Democrats who are black have complete immunity to do whatever they want. Robinson, $5 super chat. Hope you or Kathy are well. Thank you, P. Robinson. Everybody thank P. Robinson for that super chat.
He asked a pretty good question. And you know what she does? She doesn't answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to find
No, Maxine Waters should immediately today be removed from every committee post that she has. And whatever process there is in the United States House of Representatives to expel someone from Congress should begin today. Because, I've been seeing Democrats and Republicans in Congress running their mouth my entire life on TV. I can say with complete confidence that and I'm going to play the audio in just a minute, that what Maxine Waters did over the week. Okay, sorry, got to run, Mike. Mike's having a conversation. Mike and Richie, bringing me down. Maxine Waters, I can say with complete confidence, made the most irresponsible comments I've ever heard a member of Congress bring up. Now, I'm going to play the audio before I take more calls, and we're going to talk about this. Maxine Waters over the weekend went to Brooklyn Center, which is a suburb of Minneapolis. Remember, one of the jurors in the Derek Chauvin George Floyd trial live in Brooklyn Center. And that city's been through a lot for the past 8 days. It's been night after night of violence, looting, fires. There may not be much left to burn. It's like a forest without any trees. I mean, they've done so much damage. Saturday, Maxine Waters left Washington. Remember, she's a congresswoman from California, Los Angeles, and went to Brooklyn Center. Went there at night, violating the curfew orders because rules, laws mean nothing to Maxine Waters. Went into a crowd and, well, made the most irresponsible comments ever made by a sitting member of the United States Congress in either house. I've never seen anything like this. What she did is jury intimidation of the Derek Chauvin jurors. What she did was incite violence, and she's unapologetic about it. Let me play it for you, then we'll talk about it. Oh, let me start again. Here we go.
Reform. And so, yes, I would like to see the bill in Congress pass on police reform, but I know that the right wing, the racists, are opposed to it, and I don't know what's going to happen to it, but I know this: we've got to stay in the street, and we've got to
stop giving Weezy so much attention.
As a black man,
you're making her too self-important.
I feel like nothing changes.
Where's Weezy?
And George Floyd is waking so many people up. Yet nothing has happened, despite the rhetoric. Like, what needs to happen that's different this year than all the years before?
We're looking for a guilty verdict. We're looking for a guilty verdict, and we're looking to see if all of the fault that took place and has been taking place after they saw what happened to George Floyd, if nothing does not happen, then we know that we've got to not only stay in the street, but we've got to fight for justice. But I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that will say guilty, guilty, guilty. And if we don't, we cannot go away.
And not just manslaughter, right? I mean...
Oh, no, not manslaughter. No. This is guilty for murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree murder.
Congresswoman, what happens if we do not get what you just told? What should the people do? What should protesters on the street do?
I didn't hear you.
What happens?
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we need business.
Okay, we've got to get more active and confrontational if we don't get the verdict we want. That's inciting of violence. You know, in America, we have our freedom of speech, right, that we enjoy. There are not many limitations on our free speech, but the major limitation on freedom of speech in this country is you do not have the freedom to incite violence. If your speech results in others being hurt or killed, you've gone over the line. And that's what Maxine Waters did. Also, Maxine Waters did what they accused President Trump of doing the day of the Capitol breach. President Trump said peacefully protest. He didn't tell people to get confrontational and break down doors. That's what she did. And by the way, if anyone questions whether this is in the incitement of violence, she was in Brooklyn Center. This wasn't some reporter in D.C. or California that was randomly asking her a question about this. This was Maxine Waters traveling, violating the curfew of Brooklyn Center and going to a spot where not only have there been violent actions by a mob every night, this was Saturday night, she was in the middle of the mob that was on standby to do their looting that night. And she incited this violence. And some of the actions that are going on around this country right now, in the lead up to the Chauvin verdict, some of the scariest things I've ever seen. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and I'm going to get into that. But what I believe should happen today, when the court opens, the defense rested in the Chauvin case on Friday. So the jury could have a verdict by the end of this week. It's possible. The judge should open the court today and declare a mistrial and dismiss all the jurors. And I'll tell you why I say that when we get back. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Hi,
You know,
my name is Tom Laporta.
I ask you guys what you think. I've about had it with Richie. And if you listen to Richie's call, and if you missed it, you can go back and watch it. When he called in, I took his call. I didn't screen. I didn't know who it was. Right out of the break, he was like reprimanding me. He may be in here. Did you hear what he said? Now, this Mike Lindell Frank thing is important, but what do you think is more important? Who the freak does he think he is? I mean, because he turns on the radio, he wants to hear what, like, Steve Hilton was talking about last night. I think Richie needs to get his own YouTube channel and talk about whatever he thinks is more important. I think he is. I don't know who's got a bigger ego, Richie the bus driver or Wheezy. But I don't know where the hell he thinks he's getting off. What do you think is more important? He's like reprimanded me because I didn't start talking about the thing at 6 that he wanted me to jump in on right away. He is out of his freaking mind.
604-4602.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority...
Well, it's like I said, we're here 3 hours a day.
You can receive your very own therapeutic shoes.
I got a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to talk about.
Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority.
I don't appreciate his tone of reprimand. What do you think is more important, Brian? The freak does he think is more important?
Barry Siegel at the Siegel Laundry. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
He wants topic by on demand and by request every segment.
From Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Oh man. See, if you guys watch on YouTube, you get the off-air during the commercial discussions. I just went off during the commercial break on something, but you guys got to watch on YouTube to get to that. All right. I believe the judge in the Chauvin trial should call a mistrial today. There was a story that came out yesterday. On top of all of this, do you know they're shutting the schools down in Minneapolis today? In expectation of this violence? They should shut down the entire city. Their highways should be shut down. The interstate should be shut down. Whatever freeways they have up there should be shut down. They should be a city under lockdown because of what could happen. There was a story over the weekend. If you haven't seen it, you will. A home where a defense witness once lived. Now, this is a home where this defense witness no longer lives, but a home that they lived in at some time in the past, which is located in California. It was a use of force expert. Protesters went to a home where a defense witness used to live, covered the entire doorway with pig's blood. Have you seen this? If I were a member of that jury, see, the jury's not sequestered, so they're seeing all this, and they may even be seeing more than we are, because since they're not sequestered, all they're doing is obsessing over this stuff, and they're probably reading every little thing and watching every little thing online. If I were a witness, if I were a juror, if I were one of the jury members in the Derek Chauvin case, when court convenes today, I would ask to speak to the judge, and I would tell the judge, I cannot render a verdict. I'm afraid to render a verdict. They put pig's blood on the doorway of a home where a defense witness used to live. There was a member of Congress in Brooklyn Center over the weekend that said if we don't render the verdict they want, that they're going to, get more confrontational than ever. And you know that if that jury comes back with a verdict that Maxine Waters and her mom are not happy with, at that point there's no one to blame but the jury. They're moving beyond Chauvin. Judge and the jury will be held responsible then, not the cops. When you see what they did, again, I don't know who lives in that house now, but it's not the defense witness, and still they vandalized it with pig's blood. That's one of the scariest things I can imagine happening. This jury comes back with a verdict they're not happy with. It's not just the juror they're going to go after, it's their family, their kids, forever. If I were on that jury and the judge wouldn't dismiss me, because I would tell him I can't render a verdict, I would go in that deliberation and refuse to vote. I wouldn't vote. Either way, guilty or not guilty on anything, I wouldn't do it. This trial should be declared a mistrial. And you know what? And this is, that video was disturbing. I'm not a defender of Derek Chauvin. I know a lot of conservatives are. I am not. But not only should there be a mistrial, I don't know if there should be another trial. How can this guy get a fair trial? Good morning. What's your name?
Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah. One, you're right about Richie. Two, the thing about...
I'm right about Richie. Were you watching during the break on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, I went off on Richie the bus driver during the commercial on YouTube. Yeah, I was pissed. Well, you know what I did? I didn't appreciate Richie's tone. Richie called in to reprimand me. And if you listen to the beginning, he said, what do you think is more important? This frank speech is important, but don't you think this is more important? Who the freak does Richie think he is?
Right, you're right
Jackie,
about
$5
that.
super chat. Thank you. Maxine Waters should be charged with conspiracy to intimidate juror. Yes. Everyone thanks Jackie for that $5 super chat.
Those comments do not surprise me. Remember, this is the same woman that when she was talking about the election and Trump and stuff, and people who support Trump, go out there and get in their faces and get in the business.
Yeah, this is another thing, Mike, and I know I don't mean you any harm, and I don't want my frustration at Richie to transfer to others, but I have some pet peeves. I don't share my pet peeves with you guys because you'll use my pet peeves against me. So I don't share my pet peeves with you. But something that's close to a pet peeve, it's not a pet peeve, but borderline pet peeve, is when some Democrat does something like Maxine Waters did. If Marjorie Taylor Greene did what Maxine Waters did, there'd be a warrant out for her arrest in Minneapolis today, in Brooklyn Center. But when people say this doesn't surprise me, very little surprises me. I was surprised on 9/11. I was surprised when the Challenger exploded. Okay? But very little. I was a kid, but I remembered I was surprised when John Hinckley shot President Reagan. Very little surprises me. But so I don't know why people say that. Listen, this country, that pig's blood on the doorway of a home where a witness used to live, that was in California. Look how far removed. This is coast to coast. We have coast-to-coast violence going on because of this. And we have a president who's checked out, who doesn't even know he's president half the time, and no one is toning this down. They're enraging the crowd. They're legitimizing what's happened. Maxine Waters is a senior member of the United States House of Representatives. What did Marjorie Taylor Greene do? I've forgotten now. that caused them to remove her from some committees. I can't remember what it was. It was minor stuff. You know, what Maxine Waters did, she should be arrested for. She is a representative of the government, a senior member. And she went to a riot and told them to do more.
And that's the thing with her. And as far as you're also correct on what the judge should do and what the jury should do. This is probably the only thing they can do, because remember I believe the defense wanted to move it out of here.
I really believe at this point there should not be a trial of Derek Chauvin. Not because I'm a defender of his. I think he's guilty of something. I don't know what charge I would convict him of, but you know, he is responsible for the death of George Floyd. I mean, there were contributing factors, you know, with George Floyd, but he was inappropriate and killed the guy. I'm sorry, he killed George Floyd. Okay, but how can he give? They've been told on this jury that's not sequestered, and they're seeing everything that's in the news, that if they don't come back with a certain verdict, all hell's going to break loose, coast to coast, and what's going to happen to them and their family and their kids? What do you think this crowd will do to them?
You know, I felt this way for a while, that it doesn't matter what verdict they're going to come back with. There is going to be a riot. It doesn't matter what verdict they come back with. So it's like, okay, if it doesn't matter, then the case doesn't matter, really. I mean, yeah, you want to see the guy come to justice. You know, if the evidence says that he needs to come to justice, yeah, you want to see him to come to justice. But if it doesn't matter, the verdict, they're going to riot anyway. You know, then what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they're already rioting. They're already committing acts of violence. So, you know, it's a nonstop affair. And I have never seen a member of the federal government. Now, if somebody else has an example of this, please let me know. I have never seen a member of the United States Congress go to a riot and tell people to do more rioting and get more confrontational after they burn a city down.
Well, yeah, and this is, you know, I mean, we know she's a radical. We know that, you know.
Well, remember, Maxine Waters, the first time I heard of Maxine Waters is she was defending the looters during the LA riots. She called it the rebellion, you know, and, you know, she was a defender of the South Central LA riots in the aftermath of the first Rodney King verdict. You know.
I mean, obviously she's getting brave, because she didn't even go into, like, Portland or Seattle and say these things, you know?
Well, the thing with Maxine Waters, you know, she's very aware of herself. She knows what she said. She knows what she did. But she's been getting away with more and more over the years. She's becoming more bold with what she says. She has no censors anymore on what she says, no filters on what she says. She says what she's really thinking, and that's not a good thing. What she did was dangerous. People could get hurt because of what Maxine... That's inciting of violence, Maxine Waters. She should be arrested. There should be a warrant out for her arrest in Brooklyn Center. There really should.
There really should. And before I let you go, the biggest glitch that I see today, and it's going to hurt the trolls with frank speech, is the traffic glitch. Because there's going to be especially today, there's going to be a lot of people that want to sign up today.
Well, you can start signing up at 9 a.m. on Frank Speech. Okay, 9 a.m. here on the East Coast, and there will be people, millions of people, will be trying to sign up on their phones, on their work computers, at home, and I have never seen any type of website that went live with as many people waiting to get on it as Frank Speech. It's historic. It's never happened before, except for the Obamacare website, and that crashed. So I am expecting glitches big time today, because I just don't, you can plan and plan and plan and plan, but these left-wing trolls, okay, they make plans too. And believe me, they've been planning for ways to be disruptive to Frank's speech. And at 9 a.m. Eastern, they're going to be there too. And it's this is how the left are. This country, we've not been this divided in a long time. And these lefties, they got a lot of very smart people, these techie people. Look what they're doing to American cities right now. They're going to try to do the same thing to Frank's speech today. All right, listen. Mike in Louisiana, thanks for the call. All right, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We will be back right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
The
Be right back, guys.
Law Group, my good friend Barry Siegel. Barry, how are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm having a great morning. How are you?
I'm having a great morning and looking forward to our breakfast next week.
Me too, Steve. Always look forward to seeing you. Today I want to talk about a area of your overall estate plan that doesn't necessarily have to deal with your assets. It has to do with important decisions that need to be made during your lifetime, and that deals with your health care documents. That's part of a good estate plan. There are three essential health care documents that are part of a great estate plan. One is your health care surrogate designation, which allows you to name those who you give the responsibility of making important medical decisions for you if you don't have the capacity to do so yourself. Those decisions could include end-of-life decisions such as pulling the plug. The second document is the living will, which is a document, think of it as a memo to your healthcare decision maker as to whether you want to have your plug pulled or not. So if you don't have your mental capacity and you're either have a terminal condition, an end-stage condition, or a persistent vegetative state like that Terry Schiavo had over in that Clearwater case many years ago, then it says you either want the machines keeping you alive, helping you breathe, and the feeding tube and the water tube, or you want those things removed. And then the one that most people don't know about is the Hipaa authorization, and that's so important.
Wow.
The Hipaa, that stands for Health Information Portability and Accountability Act. That came into law in 2003. And so now when you go to the doctor, they want you to sign off that you read their Hipaa policy, and essentially that says that they can share your medical information with other medical providers, but not with anyone else. But with your Hipaa document in your estate planning, it says to the medical provider not to share your medical information with anyone except for the people you list on that document, such as your spouse or your brother, your sister, your parents, your children, or friends. Whoever you name, they can access your medical information, your records, and speak to the medical providers. Without that, they're trained not to give out that information, and that could be a disaster. So those are the three important healthcare documents that are part of an overall estate plan.
All right, there you have it. If you want to make an appointment with Attorney Barry Siegel, you can find him a delight to deal with, very knowledgeable, and he can help you solve those problems that are, for some people, very difficult to solve. Call to make that appointment, 1-855, that's toll free, by the way, 1-855-FLA 3782. Barry, good talking to you. We'll speak soon, all right?
Okay, Steve.
Take care, my friend. All right.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Search for WW.
Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Yeah, I want to talk to Greg.
Greg? Yeah, Brian Craig. It's Craig, but that's close. Brian Craig with a C, not Greg. Craig. Yes. That's okay, though. You can call me anything. That's all right. What's on your mind? You're talking to him.
Oh, okay. I'm talking to you.
Yes, you're on the radio talking to Brian right now.
Okay.
I'm getting like wheezy.
I'm calling.
I said third person. You got to turn off the volume of whatever device you're listening to me on because there's a very long delay, and just listen on your phone as you're speaking to me.
Oh, okay. I'm calling to let you know that you guys are very weak out there in the.
Weak? Weak how?
Yeah, you guys don't stand up for your rights.
Oh, okay. All right, that's enough. See, now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about with what's going to happen on Frank's speech today. And you guys got to be careful. There are so many liberal trolls that pretend to be conservative. And what they do is say very outrageous things and try to get you to go along with it. You got to be very careful. I just got a very good ear. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yeah, how you doing? My name is John in Tennessee.
Hey, John, what's on your mind?
I am calling in because I think Maxine Waters, I think if anybody else gets injured or, say, murdered,
yeah, they'll say Maxine told me to do it. Yeah, Maxine told me. Well, you know, like I say, Marjorie Taylor Greene is introducing some resolution to expel her from Congress, which is going to go nowhere. But if Marjorie Taylor Greene did what Maxine Waters did, there would be a warrant out for her arrest in Minneapolis today. And you know what? I would be in favor. I would support that because I don't advocate violence. I advocate against violence in all instances. And any member who of the government who's a well-known figure and a senior member of Congress who goes out to a riot where they're looting, where they're burning, where people are being hurt and attacked, and tells them to do more and get more confrontational, that's the incitement of violence. And she has committed maybe even federal crimes because she traveled across state lines to do just that. She went to Brooklyn Center. I don't know if she flew in from California or D.C., but she traveled across state lines to incite violence. That's not, that's not a crime.
I believe it is. As a matter of fact, I believe that if anybody else gets hurt from this point on, when she said that, she should be liable to the full extent.
Well, she did what they claim Trump did, which he didn't do. He said peacefully. Why do you think Democrats have complete immunity? Why do you think Democrats can say or do whatever they want and get away with it? Why is it that way?
I believe that is because they are backed by the devil.
They're backed by the what? Oh, by the devil. The Democrats are backed by the devil, you said.
Spiritual dark forces that are working in the background. That's what I believe.
Really? What makes you... So you think Maxine is controlled by Satan. What makes you say that specifically?
I don't know if it's exactly Satan, but, by the dark forces, spiritually. I mean, it speaks of it in the Bible, how these days are coming.
Well, what we have... This is what's going on here, okay? Many black leftists, people that are black and liberal, are racist and hate white people. Maxine Waters is one of them. Many of these people in these crowds are in that thing. And what happens with the racist is they take an incident and use a situation to justify them being out with their racism. Back when the Democrats were opposed to the integration of the public schools and Republican President Eisenhower had to send in the army so that African Americans could go to school with white people in the Democrat-controlled South. Remember all those white people screaming? You see them. We've seen them in all the history, screaming all these racial slurs. All Democrats. They were racist before. Now they use that as a vehicle to express their racism. And what's happening across this country right now, and it pains me to say this, what's going on with these protests in Minneapolis in particular, they're behaving like the Ku Klux Klan used to behave. The Ku Klux Klan would go to people's homes and threaten and harass and intimidate them. The Ku Klux Klan would intimidate juries and judges. And the Ku Klux Klan would intimidate members of the media. And what's going on now with these protests is the same thing.
Yeah, it's just like them burning crosses in their front yard. They're burning buildings in their front yard.
Yeah, and they were both Democrats, by the way. The Klan and these groups that are doing this today were Democrats. Yeah, and that's why I say I believe that Derek Chauvin should be convicted of something. I don't have an exact crime that I believe he should be convicted of, and I'm not trying to be wishy-washy on that. Maybe some manslaughter. I don't know, but we're beyond that now, because what Maxine Waters, what they're doing is trying to intimidate the jury to render a verdict that they want. And
it should be null and void at this moment.
Well, problem is we've got a government controlled by Democrats. The Vice President of the United States was supporting funds to bail these people out a few months ago. So, so they have allies at the highest level of government. But I'm against all violence. In fact, I don't even go to, I've been to demonstrations in the past, and I was attacked by Democrat. I went to a protest once many years ago with Steve Kane, and a Democrat laughed at me while they did this, pushed me in front of oncoming traffic, in front of moving cars on a highway, and tried to kill me, and laughed while they did it with their forearm. And I went to another one where a Democrat woman hit me with her forearm in the nose, and then told a police officer that I attacked her. So I don't go to protest because I was almost killed by one. And this particular one with the police officer, luckily it was local, and I'm known a little bit locally by police sometimes, and I explain who I am, and they understand. Okay? So Democrats get very, very violent all the time, and they feel emboldened to do so. And I call for an end to all violence. I'm a big admirer of Martin Luther King, as I think most good people are. And Martin Luther King modeled himself after the great Gandhi. Nonviolent, okay? Nonviolent demonstrations. This is the exact opposite. Martin Luther King would not approve of any of this. And what Maxine Waters did over the weekend, I challenged someone to give me an example of a sitting member of Congress ever inciting violence like that in the middle of a mob. And I don't want to hear President Trump. He said peacefully. He used the word peacefully. So.
I recall something that happened way back in the day when there was congressmen that got upset at each other. And I believe that there was a Democrat that took a cane to another person.
Yeah, that's true. I can't remember the names in particular. It was in the 1800s. It was two members of the House got into a fight. But I'll tell you, the Democrats have always been violent. Okay? The first Republican was elected president. What did the Democrats do? They left the Union, right? Tried to form another country and attack Fort Sumter. And 500,000 Americans were killed when the Democrat. Just over the weekend, the President Lincoln was assassinated by a Democrat actor. Over the weekend there was, we just passed the date when that happened. Recently, and it was just the anniversary over the weekend of the cross-country procession of President Lincoln on the train after his death. The Democrats have always been violent in this country when they don't. Look at the 60s. The violence in the 60s, Democrats. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if, the Weather Underground. Yeah. I don't know if it's mental illness. I don't like to blame things on mental illness because I don't want to trivialize that. I don't know if they're just consumed with hate. I don't know. But there's something about Democrats. They've always been a violent people. I bring this up a lot, and people say I bring it up too much. But if you look at everything that Democrats say America should apologize for, in our history. It's all things brought to you by Democrats. Slavery, internment of Americans of Japanese descent, the Klan, opposing integration, segregation, Jim Crow, slavery. It's all Democrats. You know, everything.
That's exactly what that is. That's follow and see. They just look in the mirror and they say, okay, blame it on him. Blame everything that you're doing on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
I'm too shocked. I'm shocked at how egregious this woman is.
Maxine Waters.
She is a disgrace to this country. However, I will say, in my opinion, what you're seeing now is a very clear two-class system where the Democrats consistently, all the way from Nancy Pelosi to Chuck Schumer to Jerry Nadler to Maxine Waters, they do these insane things, these egregious things, these unconstitutional things, these things that anyone else would be removed for, and you know what? They throw their middle fingers right up at America and say, we are untouchable, we can do whatever we want and subject the rest of you to whatever.
You know, Maxine Waters is insane. A few months ago, she was being driven in her chauffeured SUV in Los Angeles, and she saw a man was pulled over by police, and the police were involved. This was all on video. You can find this online. This was a few months back, and Nancy Pelosi told her chauffeur, it's amazing in racist America, African Americans have chauffeurs, told her chauffeur to pull over, and she intervened with the cops. Cops sort of get the hell out of here, threatened to arrest her for interfering. But, you know, she is a disturbed person, and what she did over the weekend was a crime, and she should be charged with that crime.
Only that crime? What about her?
Well, no, this is different. This is different than what she did before. When she said, you know, go to the politicians, that was bad. This is different. She actually went to a riot and told them to do more and get more confrontational. She went to a riot. She went to a looting, I don't know what you call it, a loot. What do you call people that are looting? Is it a loot? I don't know. But she went to a riot and told them to do more while it was going on.
Not only that, what about the jury tampering? That if you don't...
That's jury intimidation. And that's what I was talking about with the Klan. That's how the Klan operated. That's jury intimidation. Telling the jury that's not sequestered, that's seeing everything, that if you don't render a verdict that we approve of, this is going to happen.
No, Brian, you said it perfectly last week when you said this is a lynch mob. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And I talk about this because I have an interracial family, and I don't say this to brag or anything. My daughter's black. I have a vested interest in black and white people getting along. I have one child, and she's black. Everyone that's in my line forever, my grandchildren, great-grandchildren forever, will be children of color, right? They'll either be black or biracial, okay? My entire family line will be black and interracial people forever. I have as much of an interest in black and white relations being perfected in this country than anybody in Black Lives Matter. Okay? And what I'm seeing is disturbing, and it's scary, and it's wrong. And we can't just say, well, does this surprise you, Maxine? Nothing's going to happen. Next story. No, we're not going to do that. Listen, I got to run for a break. I'm late for the top, but thank you for your call. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. We will be back right after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470. FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hey guys, those of you that are new here, make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell, and everybody in the chat room, over 1,000 of you in there, like the video and share it. Liking the video helps a lot. And I never liked Maxine Waters, but I like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm a supporter of Matt Gaetz. All right. If Matt Gaetz or Marjorie Taylor Greene went to a riot and did what Maxine Waters did, I'd be saying the exact same thing. The exact same thing. You know, and the left, they just feel entitled to, you know, do these terrible things. It's outrageous. This show, we are live. Frank said, what time did the show start? We are live. We're on a bunch of radio stations here in Florida, AM and FM stations. And we're live at 6 a.m. Eastern every morning, Monday through Friday. And the radio show, we're on a morning drive from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. And I live stream here on YouTube when we're live on the radio. You guys on YouTube can call too on our toll-free line. And I also upload my podcast that I do with my wife to this channel, and a lot of other videos too I put on this channel. So, yeah. To answer your question, that's 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, we live stream Monday through Friday. But again, I put a lot of other videos up here too.
At MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows, but you got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old
We're coming back. It's our top of the hour break.
MyPillow mattress, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Brian is my name, Frank. Brian Craig.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
All right, we're coming back. Hour number 2.
The Siegel Law Group, with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Hour number 2 has begun. If you're on hold, stand by. Just to do some recapping here, and then I'm going to play the Maxine Waters audio, and then we'll go back to the phones. On Friday, Derek Chauvin's defense team rested. We expect jury deliberations to begin early this week. The court took the weekend off there, and the Derek Chauvin court will be back in session today. And we could have a verdict any day. I mean, the prosecution and defense both took very little time to present their cases. And who knows how long this jury could be back quick. Jury intimidation is going on. A tragic story over the weekend, just frightening story. It's hard for me to believe this stuff's real. A home in California where a defense witness once lived. Now keep in mind, they no longer live there. It was a use of force expert the defense called in as an expert witness in the Chauvin case. And I am no defender of Derek Chauvin. Please understand, I'm not. A home where a defense witness once lived and no longer lives had the entire door and doorway covered in pig's blood by protesters in California over the weekend. This jury is not sequestered. They're seeing all of this. And as I was saying the last hour, the Chauvin jury are seeing more than we are seeing because since they're not sequestered, they're following his trial stuff. And they got to be scared out of their mind. Saturday night, breaking curfew, Maxine Waters, senior member of the United States House of Representatives from Los Angeles, California, across state lines, went to Brooklyn Center, where the Dante Wright shooting happened, went to the mob that's been looting and burning every night for 8 nights now. Well, today will be the 8th. And incited violence. This is Maxine.
And so, yes, I would like to see the bill in Congress passed on police reform, but I know that the right wing, the racists, are opposed to it, and I don't know what's going to happen to it, but I know this: we've got to stay in the street, and we've got to demand justice.
As a black man, despite all of the efforts, I feel like nothing changes. And George Floyd is waking so many people up. Yeah, nothing has happened despite the rhetoric. Like, what needs to happen that's different this year than all the years before?
We're looking for a guilty verdict. We're looking for a guilty verdict, and we're looking to see if all of the fault that took place and has been taking place after they saw what happened to George Floyd, if nothing does not happen, then we know that we've got to not only stay in the street, but we've got to fight for justice. But I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that is say guilty, guilty, guilty. And if we don't, we cannot go away.
And not just manslaughter, right? I mean...
Oh, no, not manslaughter. No. This is guilty for murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree murder.
So what happens if we do not get what you just told? What should the people do? What should protesters on the street do?
I didn't hear you.
What happens? What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
Okay, they need to know we mean business. We need to get more confrontational. Maxine Waters, they've been burning the city down and looting it for over a week. How much more confrontational can they get? They've been throwing bricks and rocks at cops. How much more confrontational can they get? There should be a warrant out for Maxine Waters' arrest after this. I mean, if I did this, I would be in a similar position. This is inciting of violence. And what happens when people get away, she's been escalating over the years. When people get away with it over and over and over again, they take it to the next level. Because why not? They got away with it. I'm so frightened for this country when you have violence like this being advocated for by senior members of our federal government, which is what Maxine Waters is. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name?
Paris, Texas.
Yeah, Paris, Texas.
Hey, happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Early birthday. So you say that there's no other congressmen or congresswomen or senators that have incited a riot?
I'm saying I've never known, now you can tell me what you built up to, but I've never known of a sitting member of the United States House of Representatives to go to a crowd that is a rioting, looting crowd and tell them to do more. No. What did Mo Brooks do?
He went to the on the 6th at the speech that he gave before.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if he said that and meant it, excuse me, let me finish my sentence. Okay. If he said that, right, and he didn't say it in a sarcastic way like sometimes people will get into an argument and say, I'm going to kill you. They don't mean it, you know what I mean? But let's just say that he did. Then he should be prosecuted as well. If he did what you said in the context in which you said, he should be prosecuted as well. What did Ted Cruz do? No, that's different. That's different. No, that's different. Ted Cruz, no, Ted Cruz is different. Not actually Mo Brooks, even his comments are different in that it was prior to the event. And a lot of times when politicians are talking, they use rhetoric. And they'll use we're targeting this seat in Congress, or we got to fight. It's like, we got to fight for the right for power, or like in a pep club. Or like not a pep club, a pep rally at a school. We're going to go on the football field Friday night and we're going to fight. There's things that people say that are phrases and things that are commonly used that aren't meant to be taken literally. What Maxine now if Mo Brooks or Ted Cruz, what Maxine Waters did in Brooklyn Center Saturday night, Well, I didn't ask you if you agree with it, okay? If Ted Cruz and Mo Brooks would have gone inside where the crowd was in the Capitol that mobbed it, and they got into that crowd and they told them, you need to get more confrontational. You need to let them know you mean business, that we mean business. You need to do, that would have been different. You're talking about political rhetoric using phrases that are not meant to be taken literally. And you know better. You're not totally stupid, even though you're a Democrat.
Well, how about Louis Gohmert?
When this was talked about, there was that song "Fight for the Right to Party." Remember that song, "Fight for the Right to Party"? Yeah. Did the Beastie Boys really mean get into physical confrontations with people and beat them just so that you could party?
The context on that.
A context, and no further context. Exactly. And what the examples you gave me with Ted Cruz and Mo Brooks is the context in which they said them was nothing like what Maxine Waters said, and you know it. You want to believe because you hate Republicans, because what you use as a name isn't what you use your favorite thing for your name. Yeah, the C, that's your favorite thing in the world probably, and if you can't figure out what I'm saying out there in the audience, think a little harder. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the second hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Oh man, our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
You've heard Steve Kane, Richie the Bus Driver, and many other Steve Kane listeners tell you about the great work Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care offers. Steve Kane listener, hey, called in, he had an accident, he went to Dr. Gupta, and he told us his story.
Good morning, Brian. My name's Hank.
Welcome, everyone that's new. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, click that notification bell. You will love this program, I promise you guys.
And I busted my 3 front teeth. I busted my chin.
Oh my gosh, when I get back from the break, I got a big update on this blood on the doorway. Oh my goodness.
Besides the fact that my teeth look great, besides the fact that, his assistant is really good, really nice, they're all really nice over there, the price was unbelievable. When I came home and I told my wife, she's like, I thought that thing was going to cost you 3 times as much. I said, so did I. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank Dr. Gupta. He's awesome. Appreciate your show. I listen to your show a lot. I only called in because this is the second time. Both times, one was to make sure I'm going to the right office where Dr. Gupta was, and then this one to let you know that he's great. I know you know he's great. I just want your listeners to know he's great. His assistant is great. The prices are great. Everything is great over there.
Awesome. Well, listen, I'm glad you had a great experience with Dr.
Yeah,
Gupta.
I did. Thank you again, Brian.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and thank Steve, and you guys keep up the good work over there. I appreciate it. Dr. Gupta, you keep up the good work, too.
All right, there we go.
So everybody keep up.
All right, I think you guys just heard what will be the new commercial for Dr. Gupta.
Do what Hank did. Call Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. For Steve Kane listeners, free consultations. And always the best price. Give Dr. Gupta a call right now. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. The special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Steve Kane will be joining us in progress in just a little bit on this humongous, crazy news day, which is a lot of really scary stories in the news. I've got an update on the thing with the pig's blood on the doorway. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll go back to the phones in a moment. Vandals have struck the former home. Keep in mind, the guy doesn't live there anymore. The former home of an expert witness who testified in the Derek Chauvin defense, smearing it in blood and leaving a severed pig's head on the doorstep days after he took the stand in the George Floyd trial. The group of vandals struck at around 3 a.m. on Saturday, wiping animal blood on the front door and garage of the residence in Santa Rosa, California, where the use of force expert Barry Broad once lived. Police said the hoodlums, dressed entirely in black, tossed the pig's head onto the front porch and fled on foot as the resident called 911. Soon afterwards, a similar-looking group splattered animal blood on a statue of a hand in a nearby shopping mall, leaving a sign with a picture of a pig and the words, "Oink, oink." And very brutal, just very graphic photographs. This is in the Daily Mail. I did tweet this on my Twitter if you want to take a look. Mr. Broad, the defense witness, has not lived at the residence for a number of years. He's not even a resident of California any longer. Oh, my goodness. So, you're on the jury. You see this story. What are you thinking? Last week we were talking, there's a lot of pressure on this jury that their verdict could cause violence, result in violence. Now, when they're going after homes where witnesses used to live, I said this in the last hour, I'll say it again, this is very important. Court's reconvening today. If I'm on the jury, I go to the judge and say, I cannot and I will not render a verdict in this case. I'm afraid for my family, forever, not just next week, forever. I can't do it. And you know what? I would be vocal, encourage other members of the jury to do it too. What can they do to you? Do we have any legal experts out there? I'd like to hear. Do we have any attorneys out there? What would happen if the jury, if members of the jury came forward and said, I know they have alternates, but they don't have enough to replace a whole jury. What if the jury said, we will not and cannot, out of fear, render a verdict in this case? Has that ever happened before? Would the jury be committing a crime if they did that? I don't know. We're in new territory that we have not been in America in my lifetime. This is what the Klan used to do. Intimidate judges, intimidate juries. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. Toll free from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Yes, Doug.
Birthday.
Thank you. Tomorrow's my birthday, but I'll take it today.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Sorry. I heard somebody else say happy birthday. Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. If I was a juror, I'd probably be afraid to make a verdict myself.
And they can't protect you. I mean, I'm not talking about just next week or this week or next month. When this jury comes back and if they come back with a verdict that doesn't satisfy Maxine's mob, okay, it's not just them, it's their entire family and their kids.
You hit the nail right in the head. If you let people get away with stuff, they never stop. They're going to keep going and going, and this guy puts pig blood on somebody else's house. This is really, these people are insane. And Maxine Waters is the perfect person to run out.
Yeah.
She tells Jim in Congress, tell another fellow congressman, shut up. Respect the chair and shut up. She's out of control. This woman's out.
Well, what's Maxine Waters going to, what's Nancy going to do? Anything? What will Nancy Pelosi do?
Yeah, right. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. When they took Marjorie Taylor Greene off of her committees, I can't even remember what she did. It couldn't have been that big of a deal because they don't like her. So what the hell's going on here? Is Maxine Waters going to be removed from her committees?
I was shocked when Jim Jordan didn't respond to shut up, but I guess he doesn't want to get thrown off the committee.
If Jim Jordan would have responded to her and defended himself properly, he would have been the one in trouble.
Exactly. This is the problem. Who elects these people? How?
Well, her district includes, South Central Los Angeles. Okay, so that tells you who does. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Rabbi David, how are you?
Hey, Rabbi, how are you?
Good. I have a thought about this Maxine Waters thing. I was wondering,
thought would be about what I was about to say. I think that she is looking for tremendous attention to the point where she wants to be censored or thrown out of something so she can scream racism. And she's wondering why it hasn't happened, yelling, shut up, coming out there, more confrontation. She keeps poking the bear and wondering, and waiting for it. Her greatest dream, because she loves attention, would be for actually Congress to take action against her.
Oh no, you give her too much credit. See, one thing I've learned about people in Florida, we have the oldest population in the country, maybe the world. Okay, right? And so we know, all of us in Florida know a lot of elderly people, and what I've noticed about elderly people is their most negative qualities, their most negative personality traits become more pronounced as they get older. And she is an old lady who has been outrageous like this her entire life. She's never been held accountable, never faced any punishment. She justified the LA riots after the fact. And she's just boom, gotten worse. And she's an old-time racist. She hates white people. Congress for these comments she made over the weekend are dangerous. She went to a riot and told them to be more confrontational on the eve of the big one.
Yeah. By the way, she also mentioned the word first-degree murder. She's prepping it for if there's anything less than first-degree murder, which isn't even happening.
Well, when did he plan all that? When did Chauvin plan all that? And then he knew he was going to get the radio call to go there for this 20. I mean, that's yeah. She set the standard so high, it couldn't be met.
Right. So she's really. I mean, I guess you're saying that because of her age, she's showing her colors more and more without any filter.
Yes.
But could it happen that someone's going to finally step up? I mean, Jordan's, comments to Jordan, shut up. Someone's going to...
Please. Kevin McCarthy says he'll introduce a resolution to do something if Pelosi doesn't. How mild. Kevin McCarthy should be on national television, should have been there all day yesterday, calling for her expulsion from the Congress.
And what would happen? What would happen about that? Wouldn't it? There's going to be some foul screams of racism and racism.
It doesn't matter. You got to fight it. It doesn't matter if that. Nothing's going to happen to Maxine Waters. Nothing. Okay. But we shouldn't We shouldn't give up trying because the Democrats have complete immunity from anything. Okay. Just because nothing's going to happen to her doesn't mean we shouldn't try to make something happen that would be punishment for what she did. She should be immediately today removed from all of her committees, and whatever process is in the House to expel someone from Congress should be introduced. Not by Marjorie Taylor Greene, by our senior leadership, Kevin McCarthy and Dick Cheney's daughter.
I think the Black Caucus would gather around Maxine and start screaming that, protecting her and start yelling.
Yeah, I know, and singing "We Shall Overcome" and all of that, and yeah, exactly. But that what she did, she went. When she's done this in the past, it hasn't been during a riot. It was after the fact. She actually was in the crowd of a riot.
It's a great effort. You have to go out there and be there. And she could have said this from her, pulpit from Washington, but she went out there, to be on the front lines and tell these people, And that is something, terrible. And she knows with the tenor of the way it is today, she could have easily said, "and peacefully." She just could have yelled. If she yelled it out, we wouldn't be having this.
Yeah, it's like in the press when they say, allegedly, he's a this or that. She didn't even throw anything in there like that at all. I mean, she just went out and I believe may have done a federal crime she traveled there to do that across state lines. So, come on. This is outrageous, and they're shutting down the schools in Minneapolis today for the week, and until this blows over, the city needs to be shut down.
We've heard the last of her. I think she's going to keep going.
No, because she gets away with it, she'll continue to escalate. And now what's going to happen is she's going to become the leader of the movement now.
A lot of it is she looks at it as an opportunity, to just self-promote, and this is all about her. She doesn't care about any of these things. It's all about her. She doesn't care about any rights. And Martin Luther King cared. That's why he said, okay, let's do it peacefully. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a difficult road, but this is what we have to do. And she doesn't care about any.
No, and she lives in a mansion that has about the same square footage as the office building I'm in right now. So what does she know about this experience of these? All right, take care, Rabbi David. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Oh, here we go. You're on. You called me. Once, twice. Yes, okay. All right, call back if you can figure it out. Okay, listen, it's time for a break anyway. Oh, man. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, Brian Craig here. You've heard Dr. Rich Matez and Steve Kane's wife, Lori, talk about their COVID testing at Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. I've been tested too. So is Steve Kane and his son, Tyler. Today on the radio, Rabbi David called in. He felt that he was getting sick and wanted to get tested for coronavirus. So he went to Any Lab Test Now of Boca. Go to Rabbi David. Hey, Rabbi.
By the way, you might hear congestion in my voice. I actually had a lot of congestion. I felt a little sick, and of course, I get nervous that, is it COVID or not? My wife also. So guess what we did? I listened to you. I went down to Any Lab Test Now yesterday.
Hey, what's going on?
Went right in there. They put a little tiny
All night.
feel it in my finger.
Oh, no, I can't eat while I'm on,
but second more. They came back and said,
but I appreciate the thought.
Great. Went on our way, and
you don't have to wear it.
Not even worried though.
That $69 price is just for Steve Kane Show listeners. You got to mention that, and it's that little finger test. You get it real quick. I'll tell you, anytime somebody has any type of congestion, all of a sudden there's anxiety sets in, not just for them, but everybody around them. It's best just to go in and get the test. Say, I don't have the COVID. You know what I mean? Instead of dealing with all the wonder.
And they give you a piece of paper. So yesterday, I actually walked around with it. When people heard, you don't tell. So I take out that piece of paper and I said, I was tested right here. I pick up the piece of paper and showed it to them that says negative.
So,
and
Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Coral Springs.
Now I haven't answered these calls. Oh, great, awesome.
They're very caring and full of information.
Oh, cool. Yo, you're fancy.
Recommendation from
Wow.
Now we have a rabbi.
Wow.
Rabbi recommended Any Lab Test.
So I haven't answered these calls, so they're all going to be screenless.
Rabbi recommended. Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Rabbi recommended by Rabbi David for COVID testing. Rapid coronavirus testing, just $69. But you have to mention you heard them on the radio. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Their number, 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. Their number, 561-237-5009. Make sure you mention you heard them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
So I keep it up loud so the people on YouTube can hear. That's why it's so loud. All right, welcome back, everyone. 32 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you're watching on YouTube, you may see, well, you will see if you're watching on YouTube, a strange man standing behind me, and that's Big Brother. And in case I say something and go over the line, he's here to, I guess, seize the controls from me and make sure that I don't go over the line with saying anything. No, if you're watching on YouTube, that's Al Knight, who does the show on the weekends with Dr. Janae Lamaski. And they're gonna start using our studio, I guess, this weekend. So he's coming in here to see how some things work in this studio. All right, let's go back to the phones. Our number, toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, this is Marty in Texas.
Hey, Texas. What's on your mind?
Well, there's a recourse for people to call into Congress. And
no, we're not giving out numbers and telling people to call anybody. They can figure that out on their own. We don't need a recourse. Last time Republicans had a recourse, it didn't work out too well. You know what I mean? And with the Congress. You have something else?
No.
Okay. I love a caller that knows they got nothing else. I love it. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello?
Yeah, turn the volume down of whatever device you were listening to me on, and then listen over the phone. Watch, this is a setup call. Watch. Yes, you're on the air.
Okay. Is this Brian?
Yes.
Hey, well, happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you.
I want to speak to you. And
You think your call's going to be that bad, huh?
Maxine Waters, this thing about Maxine Waters is just, she should be charged just like any of them rioters that are out there. And I fully believe that.
Mm-hmm. Man, with what?
Huh?
With what? What would you charge her with?
She should be just as guilty as the riot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what do you think she was thinking? What was her goal?
What do I think her goal was? Oh, they're just trying to radicalize the whole left side and
See, like it's ringing. You got to hit it on.
I mean, that's
boom,
exactly
and it's
what
on
they're
hold.
trying to do.
Yeah. Well, you know, Maxine Waters, and I remember the first time I heard of Maxine Waters after the LA riots. She was a freshman in Congress then, and she did two things. First, she went on TV and on the floor of Congress and referred to it as the LA Rebellion, which is now kind of stuck. And she introduced legislation in Congress to give reparations of $100 to each resident of South Central LA so they could buy, this was true, buy new clothes that they lost during the looting. And ever since, but that was after the riot. She didn't go, and that was in her congressional district. She didn't go out to the riot during the riot and say, get more confrontational, do more, and do this. That was after the fact. So after the fact is a little different than during. You understand what I mean? She went to a riot, in the middle of a riot, Brooklyn Center, and said, if we don't get the verdict we want next week, be more confrontational after they've burned down the town. So what she's done is far more severe than she's ever done before.
And they're fanning it, and she's fanning it even more. And the bad part is they're getting ready to do the
turn my mic off to unmute the speakers so they can.
And they're pushing BLM and Antifa into Arizona now to try and disrupt the audit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Appreciate the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. Yes. Once. Are you there? I'm always here. You called me. So you know I'm here. Are you there?
Sure for you.
All right, here we go. And turn the volume down on the device you're listening to me on. So I know you want to hear yourself with whatever jab you think you're going to take at me, but we're on delay. After you take your jab, then you can turn it up and hear yourself, okay?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Unfortunately.
Okay. So, is everyone that's up at 2:30 in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning tweakers?
Is everyone up at 2? What? I didn't quite get that.
A lot of people get up and go to work at 2, 3 in the morning, and you call them all tweakers.
Tweakers? I didn't call anybody a tweaker. You sure you called the right show?
One that you're gay, Brian.
But because I'm not.
You got man boobies.
Uh-huh. Does that turn you on? This is wonderful. This is a great thing. So, this is this is the deal. Hey, I didn't let you go yet. As much as you want this call to end, because I know you thought that it would have ended. Excuse me. Let me put him on hold. See, now, as much as you thought the call would end as soon as you made the comment, it didn't. And I know you only planned enough content to get through the part where you thought the call would end. But this is what you got to deal with, right? You know, everyone's like, oh, you're on YouTube. Here I have he hung up. Here I have an old man who has a lot of homosexual attractions towards me. He's homophobic, doesn't want to think that he's gay, and he sits and watches me on YouTube and is having sexual fantasies about me. And then he calls me on the air to try to live the fantasy. That's my life, people. That's what I've been dealing with since I've been doing this. All right, we'll take another call. Why is it always men that have sexual fantasies with me? I don't hear women calling in that have sexual fantasies about me. It's only men. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. There's only one opening on the board, by the way. So if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. You'll have a hard time getting back through. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Yeah, g'day, Brian. It's Brett from Australia, mate. How you doing?
Oh, hey, long time no hear. Brett from Australia. How you been?
Oh, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Just dealing with the garbage down here in Australia with Black Lives Matter and...
Come on. There's Black Lives Matter in Australia? You have Black Lives Matter in Australia?
Yes, we do.
Are they like Aborigines? What are they?
No. They're American backed. So they got American overseas. They're original issue.
Wow.
They're full on Americans, and it's a worldwide organisation. But I mean, look, I'll be honest, mate. Here in Australia, we're just looking at America and going, "What the hell is going on?" It's just unbelievable. I mean, the Democrats, the hypocrisy, and with this Maxine Waters, I mean, why have you got a congresswoman who's not even in her own district, which is District 43, I believe, in Los Angeles, which is an absolute cesspool?
Well, not where she lives. Maxine Waters lives in a mansion that's over 5,000 square feet. She doesn't live in that district. She doesn't live in South Central LA.
For that district, and she is meant to represent that district. Why isn't she cleaning it up? Why isn't she doing her own job instead of getting on everybody else's cut?
Here's the reason. Here's the reason. Okay. You know, if African Americans in South Central Los Angeles are no longer living in poverty and don't feel like they're victims of racism and have a normal life like me and like you, what do they need Maxine Waters for and the Democrats? The Democrats don't want anyone to better themselves because then they want them dependent upon them. Like, I give you an example. President Trump introduced legislation to give amnesty to the Dreamers, right? And the Democrats opposed it. They don't want to have a permanent status for the Dreamers because if they're living in fear that they might get deported at any point in their life, the Democrats are always in there, well, we'll give you an extension, 3 years, right? The Democrats don't want anyone to do better. Then you don't need them.
Yeah, look, they're just not doing their job, and there's no way that Sniffy Biden and Ho-Ho won the election.
Okay, all right. Appreciate the call, Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? The reason I let him go is he was using some words that are Australian slang, and I don't know if they're vulgar or not or allowed. I don't know what those words mean. Hey, Wheezy, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. I feel pretty bad that you're a little upset with me.
I'm not upset with you. To be upset, why do you think I'm upset with you?
Because you told the people, don't give Weezy. She has a big ego. No, I don't have a big ego. I was deliberately being smart with you because of the way you were treating me.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff that I was saying was because of the way you were treating me. So I started treating you the way you were
treating you. How about I do not mistreat you. Hold on, slow down a second. Slow down, Wheezy. I've never mistreated you. Excuse me. You call me. I don't call you, right?
Right.
Okay. So why would you call someone that is mistreating you?
Mistreat me.
Okay. Okay, you'll withdraw that. Okay.
I'm saying that you put me down in certain ways and you make me try to sound stupid. Whenever you put me on hold, you say things that I didn't say.
Oh, give me an example of something that I said that made you sound stupid.
Okay, when I was telling you the story about when I had a racist situation happen, I told you one story, you told your audience another story. You've already been over this.
No. In fact, you told Wheezy, you view everything through the prism of race. Everything that happens to you is racism. You told me, and you picked a bad week to tell this story. You called in, this was a few weeks ago, you told this ridiculous story where you were at Home Depot and they were checking your bags and accusing you of shoplifting. And just that week, I had the same thing happen to me at Lowe's, except I realized they check everyone's bags. Okay? And it wasn't racism.
Well, let me just say something. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Brian. Number one, I did not say nothing about them checking my bag. I didn't say nothing about them checking me at the door. And then you told me my story was a lie and the story was true. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, listen, I'll tell you this, Wheezy. I am very good at what I do, okay? However, I have never made you look stupid. You make yourself look stupid.
No, I make you look stupid.
Oh, okay. Make me look stupid right now, then.
No, you know how you just told the audience, don't talk about Wheezy. We don't want...
Now, I didn't say don't talk about Wheezy. What I said was this. In the chat room, there were a couple of people saying, where's Wheezy? Where's Wheezy? And I said, stop. You're inflating Wheezy's ego because if you remember on your call last week, I pointed out that you keep referring to yourself in the third person. You call yourself Wheezy, and it's been about and slow down for a second. Slow down for a second. And for the past 3 weeks, maybe longer, but it's been at least 3 weeks, every single call you've made has nothing to do about any of the issues. It's always about you. All you do is call in to talk about yourself.
Listen to this. I can bring up an issue. Today I am doing that. I can bring
Now,
up...
every day you've called for the last month, all you talk about is yourself.
Finish. You never let me finish.
But you never do finish.
You turn the issue to me.
No, excuse me. You called in and started talking about what people are saying about you in the chat room on YouTube Live. Every call you make is about you.
Start off and I say hello to certain people, then I go to my topic. I start off.
Well, unfortunately, you've exhausted our time for this call, and we don't have time for your topic. I say I've got to take a break. You've exhausted your time, and we'll see. Yeah, you didn't have the topic was you.
Yeah.
As was when you last called. What was it, Thursday or Friday? And the call before that, and the call before that.
I got a big ego. Maybe I do.
Yeah, see, there you go.
But it's okay to have a big ego. I'm confident in myself. That's why
You're competent?
Yes.
What are you competent at? What are you competent at?
In my life.
Give me what is going on in your life that you're competent at?
You hear from me on the radio is not the real.
Well, what I've heard from you on your radio is you sneak around. You told me the other day you want to talk about competent, right? I don't know. You're a competent. You're competent at being deceitful.
I said I'm confident.
Oh, you're not competent. You have confidence.
I didn't say that. See, there you go, lying again.
No, I may have misunderstood what you said. Being mistaken is not the same as lying, Wheezy.
Well,
you told me the other day. Wheezy, slow down. You told me the other day that you sneak around on your husband. That you only call, that your husband has told you not to call us, and you call us when he leaves the house in the morning.
I do that.
Are you always this deceitful with your husband?
Grown woman.
What else are you deceitful about? What else are you deceitful about?
So I can do what I want to do.
Think about this. What if my wife, imagine, think about this. If my wife told me not to call women when she's not home, and when she left the house, I started calling women on a very regular basis and had conversations, what would you say that is?
That's not the same thing. I'm not having sex with you. I'm talking to you on a...
Oh. You have a relationship. No, you think about me all the time, Wheezy, and you count down the moments for your husband to leave in the morning to call me.
I do.
See, there you go. So you're thinking about a man other than your husband And you can't wait for him to leave the house in the morning so you can call another man?
I love you, Brian. I love you, baby.
Mm-hmm. No, God, no. God, no. No, but it says something about your character.
No, my character is I'm a grown woman, and I can do what I want to do. He said, don't try to convince them racists any different than they are. Stop calling them people.
Yeah, but you lie to your husband. You lie to your husband about. Then why do you only call after he leaves the house?
Well, he still knows I do it.
And that's not what you said last time. All right, Wheezy. I got to run. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere. So now I got to bring Steve through.
Boy, the view, I like that prism line.
The prism of racism?
The prism of racism.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Now this mic doesn't work very well. The wire's no good. Yeah, I use this headset. But that mic, so you want to have her on that mic.
Okay.
But this mic needs a new wire. It's just the wire.
Twice on there.
Twice on hold.
On air is the second.
Bottom is on air.
Okay.
And if you click it twice, it locks it in.
Gotcha.
So then you can conference in other callers.
You summarized more in 30 seconds by watching you than any of the board.
I don't want to tell you some things because I don't want them to know all my secrets on how to screen calls and keep the trolls off. But
no, you're triple tasking.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're running
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of
makes the day go by faster.
the My Pillow mattress topper.
Well, it's better because if someone's screening the calls, she's not going to be pissed off. Yeah.
That's for you to, you control the calls, you can hand plays.
Yeah. It makes it better because they'll vent to the board op.
Correct.
And when they get on the air, they got nothing.
I don't need to have a board out
Yeah.
for my show.
Yeah.
You're exactly.
That's why I do it. I mean,
Are you kidding? That's another issue. All right, so that one's ringing.
those are on a hold, and there's one opening.
Well, wait, the green one is what?
That's supposed to be next.
Oh,
That's the one that called
goes-
first.
Okay, but it is on hold.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, so it gives you that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But then you can't, if you click it twice, it locks it in, and then you can conference other callers in. But again, like I say, I turn the mic off so it unmutes the speakers so they can hear it.
Okay.
Because the people online, they don't want to, if you,
Come up with all these simplest. I mean.
and then I use this mic for the YouTube. It's plugged into the phone, and it picks that up too.
Wow.
But if you plug the board into the phone, they don't want to hear the. They would rather. Wouldn't you guys? You'd rather watch all the behind the scenes?
That's excellent.
Yeah.
C-SPAN used to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, here we go.
MyPillow.com. Save 30% off your My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah.
Receive 2
And
free My
delay.
Pillows, but you gotta use the promo
Oh,
code
you do that too.
But the one thing I always tell them, hang up on the caller, then hit the delay,
into a big My Pillow mattress.
because then they're live. They can say it again. Yeah, exactly. I know you know all this stuff. You've been doing this longer than me.
I like the way you perfected it.
Yeah. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. You with us, Steve? Okay, you got it. You're a little closer to the mic, Steve. A little closer to the mic.
So listen, can I throw in my 2 cents here? I'm a little frustrated.
Okay.
Right here?
He is standing behind me. Yeah, he's not on mic. Get on mic, Al. Yeah, he's here. He's here. Al Nye, he's being shot.
Why? What does he want? I'm observing.
Yes. So what is he wanted to?
I want to jump into the discussion. What do you think Maxine Waters wants more than anything right now?
More attention, and more and people moving to remove her from Congress because it makes her a victim of racial injustice.
Do you think she wants to get arrested?
Oh, she'd love it. Yeah, she'd love to get arrested.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing she's trying to accomplish. So why are we and everybody else? Why is everybody playing into her hand.
Well, last time I checked, we have a 3-hour radio show, Steve. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I mean, it's the big story of the day. I don't. What is that? You know.
I don't know. I'm trying to get in a dialogue with you.
Okay.
What Maxine Waters and Dr. Fauci have in common?
Egos who love attention. They're both short. Yeah.
No, you're right. You got it right. You don't have to go further. But unfortunately, we are her tools. We willingly go along with what she is trying to do.
Well, we got a full board on it. I mean, there's only one opening, actually. I lied. There's only one opening on the board, and it's on this topic. Okay, all right. I've been getting reprimanded all day. You know, it started at 6:15 today with the first call. Okay.
Dialogue with you, and you.
Okay.
To some of these Looney Tunes.
Well, maybe these Looney Tunes are affecting my mood, Steve. I mean, I'm having a guy calling in who wants to suckle on my body, and then I got Wheezy, who's fantasizing about me.
No more.
I mean, my goodness. All right, let's go back to the phones.
I understand.
Good morning. You're on the radio. It sounds like we interrupted a conversation. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, bitch, bro.
Oh, there we go. That's the same guy that's having the fantasies. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Why is it always men that have sexual fantasies about me, Steve? Why do we not hear from female callers that have fantasies about us? Why is it always men?
You're a married man.
No, the men were having fantasies when I was single, too. It didn't... I guess. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's try another one. Good morning. You're on the radio. By the way, that's Photo. I just recognized the voice. He was disguised his voice in the first call, and he let the disguise go on that one. I caught him off guard. That was Photo. All right, caller. Well, that's why he disguises his voice and sneaks through. Good morning. You're on the radio.
All right.
Brian.
Caller.
Yes, Mr. Brian.
Yes.
Yes, I called earlier today, and you had...
Well, every phone call ends in a hang-up, right? Even like if I'm talking to my wife, one of us will eventually hang up. Sometimes conversations are over. Nothing, no. Nobody, no, there's nothing that you or anybody else can say that is going to be so insulting that I'm going to take it personally. You heard this last caller with his sexual fantasies. If that doesn't, but it's one call per day. One call per day. Did you hear the panic when he heard the hang-up? Oh, my goodness. So, Steve, the Derek Chauvin trial, they rested on Friday. We're going to be on verdict watch maybe tomorrow or the day after. We might have a verdict by the end of the week. Did you see this? Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna move on to another topic, but did you have something on this or? Okay. Well, over the weekend, Friday, did you see this thing with Chris Cuomo, Fredo, Governor Cuomo's brother?
No, I haven't seen him in the news lately.
Well, because you don't watch CNN. Well, he does that primetime show on CNN. I'm going to play you the audio. And Chris Cuomo has a suggestion to how we can not only end gun violence, but to get America to come together and support gun control legislation. And it is some of the most outrageous stuff I've heard. Now, he's not a guest. He's not a pundit. He's the primetime anchor on CNN in their prime time, and Monday through Friday. So he's maybe their number 2 guy. Anderson Cooper's 1, and he's number 2. And after the top of the hour break, I'm going to play the audio for you. And ask yourself when I play this, does he sound sober, or does he sound like he's on something? That's the main reason I'm going to play this. Be after the top of the hour. Is Chris Cuomo sober, or does he sound like he's on something? Obviously, I believe he sounds like he's on something, just to give you a heads up. But that'll be after the top of the hour. Good morning. You're on the radio. Yes. Yes. No. This is your third time. It's one call per day. I just want something to say. Well, first off, you'd have to have something to say. And I'm really tired of these callers who want to talk about one thing and one thing only, themselves. At least some people know who Wheezy is. All right, listen. No more calls for now. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. And when we get back, we'll play this really strange monologue from Chris Cuomo on CNN Friday night, and then ask you guys the question. Does he sound sober? Does he sound as if he's on something? All right, it's coming up on 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Steve, of course, is here. 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll take our break and come back with our third and final hour right after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3.
Yes.
So you do everything from in here.
Just have to pot it up in the other room. Now, here's the thing, though, that I was telling AJ. This is a 20-second delay. So what they hear in the control room over there is delays 20 seconds ago. Later. So what I do at the top of the show at 6 is I play music at the top, and I brought this radio in, and when I hear the music on the radio, I know they've switched over, and I just take over then. The other thing, though, you have to be cautious at the end of the show that you got to end.
Otherwise, it would
cut off your goodbye, which I miss most days.
Problem now.
Yeah. So you got to get the timing right. You got to get the timing right on that.
Okay. Wow.
8101 561-245-8101.
So Steve successfully cleared the board of calls because he said he doesn't want to talk about what has every line lit.
And he just comes up with
Yeah, he's got to set up at home. He's on the Comrex.
Sounds pretty clear.
Well, it depends sometimes if the internet's not that good, and there's a little bit of latency on it. Sometimes, depending on the internet connection, it's a split second, little lag. Yeah.
I like this setup.
And a lot of times, here on the board, here on the last pot, it has to be on program.
Okay.
If you have it there, you'll hear what's on the air.
Okay, so from there, got it.
Yeah, because most of the time you'll come in, it's going to be set on WWNN. You have to put it in program.
Okay. Any reason why these are in mono, or everything else is in mono?
That's what feeds.
Otherwise, that will feed back to
everything's in mono, but Steve,
right.
and it feeds everything into Steve. That's why everything's in mono. It's the mix minus, so he can hear it. If I take something out of mono, he won't hear that pot.
Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is.
How many lines do you have?
Well, I don't want to say. They all work. I don't want them to know.
Okay.
We have a lot of lines. I got trade secrets.
You know, today you don't need the one anymore.
No.
But you at least got your
SOLEauthority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test lab in Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody.
This mic just needs a new wire, but.
Taught me more in 30 seconds than anybody here.
But you can see, I mean, you know, if you get a creep.
This whole concept yourself.
Yeah. But it gets a little hairy sometimes, like with some of the calls. Most of the time I don't screen them. I'll probably do some screening now because I got a couple of guys, you know, that are jerking off. Yeah.
And you just line up what you need to hit.
Yeah, this is a program I have to play the spots on.
It's worth 15 minutes.
Why does the radio station have that?
This is free. I got this free. This program. It's a free program I got. It's called Play at Cartwell. It's completely free. Steve Kane Show.
University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now with Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hill Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show.
And same source of where you play all your...
This computer is hooked up to where it says laptop.
Okay. So
But
just
if you
put
brought
all
something
the
in,
actualities when you bring in like
yeah,
the water
it's this wire right here. So if you have a device you want to plug into it, you can plug it into that. I can plug that into the iPad if I wanted or anything, but I just don't.
Wow.
All right, third and final hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You with us, Steve? Okay, so let me play this thing. If you're on hold, stand by. Fredo, who, Chris Cuomo, the younger brother, he was on CNN. This is Friday night. He sounds totally plastered to me. He's on something here, and he was talking about why white people, because everything on CNN is about race now, why white people are not advocating for gun control, and he went on this very strange rant on CNN. Listen.
And you know what the answer is? You really do. You don't like it. I don't like it. It scares me. Shootings, gun laws, access to weapons. I know when they'll change. Your kids start getting killed. White people's kids start getting killed. Smoking that doobie that's actually legal probably in your state now, but they don't know what it was, and then the kid runs and then pop, 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 pop. Cop was justified. Why'd you run? Oh, he had a baseball game tonight. Huh. A white kid. Oh, big family. That house over there. Those start piling up. What is going on with these police? Oh, what? Maybe we shouldn't even have police. That kind of mania, that kind of madness, that'll be you. That'll be the majority. Because it's your people.
Okay, and he goes on. Okay, now, what he's saying is we could get our common sense gun control legislation and the defund the police movement going if more white kids were getting killed. That's what we need to happen for that. But he doesn't sound sober to me. I mean, it's outrageous comments, but he sounds hopped up on something.
Definitely. Not liquor, by the way.
No, I'll let you, I'm not an expert on those types of things, but, yeah, he's hopped up on something. Yeah, unfortunately, you are. No.
Right. This is not somebody that is slurring his words and has characteristics of being under the influence of alcohol.
Well, like alcohol, that's like a depressant.
Some guy.
Yeah. And he's on prime time on CNN. Advocate. These Cuomo brothers, they're just totally immune from anything, right? Both of them. There's anytime you hear about either Cuomo brother in the news, it's always something terrible, and there's never any consequences. Just like Maxine Waters.
Well, the story is about to take a new turn because something's happening tonight, which is going to.
Oh yes.
Think around. You want to tell them what it is?
Well, we haven't talked. I'm guessing. I could be wrong, but yeah. Okay.
This?
No.
What you say is the change, the major turnaround in the story right now.
President Trump on Hannity tonight.
That is correct.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Well, notice how good President Trump has shown tremendous willpower over the past couple of weeks and not trying to. It's hard for him not to be the center of attention because he has a natural tendency.
Yeah.
Have everything around on him.
Yeah. Oh.
His handlers have done a good job of keeping him from getting old in this last month. And tonight he will make his debut. He waited for this time. Everything has gone to hell at the southern border. The cities are just about as close to exploding as they can be without, I don't ever think we've been here, to tell you the truth. We've been, had the Watts riots and all the riots.
Well, those were isolated. Those things were isolated. Now we have things that, yeah.
Realize to understand is we're in new territory.
In multiple cities at the same time. Never, yeah.
And you got some of the usual suspects that are scrambling to get their piece of the pie, the attention pie. And that's what we're going to see tonight. A lot of problems, out of control, and under the stage. And by the end of the show with Hannity, people are going to be saying to themselves, "Oh, I feel so much better. Oh, where is Donald?"
Well, don't get your hopes up too much, because remember, this is Hannity, and Hannity has a tendency to talk about himself, even when he has Trump on.
The only one who can out-talk Kennedy.
Hannity.
He tries. How did I get Kennedy in there?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're talking about Kennedy, the lady that's on Fox all the time, right? Yeah, I hope so.
And because we're in trouble, folks. We have never. The bottom line of the story. We have never been here before. This is totally new.
Well, okay. There's several things that are new about it. Okay, there's several things that are different and new. Like with all these other things, Watts Riot, South Central, all these things, they were isolated events in one neighborhood of one city. Now, so there's a lot of things different with this one. One is we have multiple events in multiple cities, expanding beyond just an isolated neighborhood all at the same time. Two, with Maxine Waters, we both have the media and a city member of Congress advocating for more violence, and we have a president and vice president who aren't trying to cool things off. They are. Let me play a clip. Emerald Robinson, who is the White House correspondent for Newsmax TV, in the White House press briefing on Friday, was talking to Jen Psaki and asked her a question about a Biden appointee. Listen.
The U.S. ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, talking to her group on Wednesday, essentially said that white supremacy is woven into our founding documents and principles.
Okay, now this is the UN ambassador that Biden just appointed she's talking about.
The statement is getting criticized.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
As essentially parroting Chinese Communist Party talking points. So, is the president going to remove her from her position as the representative before that body?
You know this woman she's talking about?
Yeah, the American ambassador to the United Nations, who said that racism is woven into our founding documents. I've heard of her, and Jen Psaki, of course, defended it. So the Biden administration is filled with people who believe that this violence is justified. So in the past, even Democrat presidents, they want the violence to stop. They want it to cool off. Not this administration. They're making it worse.
This ambassador is
the UN ambassador.
Maxine Water on steroids.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Describe it.
Yeah, that's right.
But the good news is things are totally out of control at the border. That's good news, because that thing's got to dissolve before it can get reconstructed and put back together again in some form that the country can survive.
Yeah.
On the way to, you can tell the clue was yesterday when they announced they're going to do everything Trump's way. They're going back to the old thing. You know how bad things have to be for Biden to agree to eat humble pie like he's going to when it becomes evident that he didn't know what he was doing, and that if we'd only listened to Donald Trump to begin with, this whole thing wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's give out the number. Our number is toll free 1-888-GO-KANE1. That's KANE and the number 1-888-465-2631. You're welcome to call in on any of the topics we've brought up since 6, and we brought up quite a few. Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name?
South Florida. How you guys doing?
All right, Al.
All right. Yeah, you were mentioned about Chris Cuomo. What is he on? He's probably on steroids. But anyway, these people that talk about that kind of stuff, the way he was talking about, I'm not wishing anything, but it seems like these ones that say that if something happened, God forbid, to one of his kids, then it's like they make these stupid comments.
Well, I'll tell you, he would have a different. He lives in the Hamptons, Chris Cuomo. If Black Lives Matter were going through the Hamptons and torching the sushi bars and Pilates studios and all of that, then he would have a different opinion of them. But it's, yeah.
Does he have kids? Does Chris Cuomo have kids?
Yeah, he gave them COVID when he got COVID, yeah. Yeah, he has kids, in a way.
What about this? I don't know if you talked about this yet. What if, I guess it was some lady down here in Florida, I think a lady, I guess she's originally from Haiti, sent I don't know how she did it,
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. Oh, listen. No, I didn't. All right, listen. It's time for a break anyway. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take some more calls. And I also want to hear some, Marjorie Taylor Greene is she's introducing legislation to expel Maxine Waters from Congress. It's going nowhere. But Kevin McCarthy, who's supposedly our big Republican leader, he said that he will say something in Congress if Pelosi doesn't. I've never seen such a weak Republican leader ever in my life. You think, we might as well have Mitt Romney as our leader in the House. But if you have any comments on the Maxine Waters incident, which is some pretty hardcore stuff, you are welcome to call in on that as well at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. All right, listen, we're going to take our break. We'll be back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. This is The Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling or roof is older,
because you're reaching more people.
You will want to call us.
On Facebook, you're only reaching the people that are following you already. If you want to reach new people.
From regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner.
On YouTube, it's about 10 seconds on YouTube.
Period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, really?
Where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices and absolutely.
Oh, they're gonna pay you?
Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota.
You're gonna get paid then.
Shops $175 a tire.
Yeah.
Friendly Tire just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price of Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges.
Oh my gosh.
Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was there when that picture was taken, and George hated me.
I've never met George.
Well, he's dead now.
George is dead?
He's been dead for a while. Died last year.
Because of gay complications or what?
No, he wasn't gay. He had a heart attack or something. Yeah, he hated me. I was there. You notice I'm not in the picture. He wouldn't let me in the picture. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Just talking to Al Knight about some very petty people in radio. As most people in radio are petty, pathetic people, right, Steve? Except us. We're great people that are very nice. Oh, I got to tell you, Steve, this is, you're going to hear me talk a lot about this because I found a life-changing thing. That I got the MyPillow mattress topper on Saturday. And my wife and I ordered it. And, of course, we used the promo code KANE to order it, K-A-N-E. So we got it for 30% off. And they gave us 2 free premium MyPillows. Now, if you go to my YouTube channel, I made an entire video of my wife and I unboxing the MyPillow mattress topper and making our bed with it. And you can take a look. It's pretty amazing. Now, let me tell you this. Okay. I've slept on the MyPillow mattress topper 2 nights now. Slept on it for the first time on Saturday night. You know, since I get up so early in the morning, in the middle of the night, to be here during the week, even on the weekends, I wake up at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Every weekend. I've not been able to sleep in. On Sunday morning, for the first time in years, I woke up after the sun came up because I was sleeping on the MyPillow mattress topper. I mean, I couldn't believe it, Steve. I slept peacefully, and I slept until the sun was up. That has not happened in years with the MyPillow mattress topper. My wife, this is the reason we got it. My wife's been having a lot of back and shoulder pain, and that's the main reason we got the MyPillow mattress topper. She thought, you know, it'd make the bed more comfortable. And by the way, we have a relatively new mattress that's a pretty good mattress, and she woke up for the first time in weeks with no pain in her shoulder, no pain in her back. This morning I woke up, because last night was my second night sleeping on the MyPillow mattress topper. It was the first time I can remember in a long time that I woke up when my alarm went off. I always wake up before my alarm goes off. Not last night. So I've had the MyPillow mattress topper, slept on it 2 nights, and have had the best night's sleep I've had in years. It is amazing. And I've heard so many of our listeners talk about how great the MyPillow mattress topper is, and I knew that, and I've heard Mike Lindell and everything, but actually sleeping on it, it's changed my life. It's really just in 2 nights, and it's absolutely amazing. Now, if you go to mypillow.com, use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Again, you get 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows. They come in the box with the mattress topper. When you watch my video, you'll see. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. It's just a life changer. All right, you want to go back to the phone, Steve? All right, let's go. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning. You're on the air. Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, wow. I can't believe
You got through. Don't freeze up on us now.
My name... No. My name is Mark. I'm in South Florida, and I love your show, Brian. And you're probably wondering, why were you not calling? Moderate. I think.
Well, slow down for a second. You asked yourself a question. You say, we might ask, why would he be calling in if he's not a true conservative? Well, first off, you haven't said anything, so we don't know what you are or what you are not. So we haven't asked you that question yet. And second, we don't want just conservatives calling this program. We like liberals calling in. And we take calls from liberals, and if you listen to the program long enough. So anyway, what's on your mind?
Anyway, I'm far from a liberal. With radio, politicians, and TV, is for you guys to truly touch on the issues. And
Here we go. Yeah. Well, slow down. Let me ask, what do you do for a living, caller? No, you hang on. Hold on a second. What do you do for a living? You're a fireman. Okay, you're a fireman. You said enough. He's got a great job. He works 8 days a month, Steve. Okay, you're a firefighter. If Steve and I...
Great. Thanks a lot.
Well, it's true. It's true. I know. You got a great job, 8 days a month.
With what he said, how many hours do you work?
How many days?
Oh, yeah. I do take issue with that.
I know. It's embarrassing.
Well, how many hours do you...
How many days? How many days a month do you work?
I work 10 days.
10 days a month! Oh my gosh, I work 30.
10 out of 30, do you?
Yes, 10 days a month.
Where can I get it?
I work 30 days a month. 30 days a month. Slow down though. Okay, you're taking issue with how we do the show. If Steve and I... Caller, listen to me. You're a professional firefighter. We're professional talk show hosts. Bear with us. You're taking issue with how we handle the show. If Steve and I got into our cars and drove around town to fires and started telling you as a professional firefighter how to fight fires, how much credibility would we have?
Absolutely zero.
Because we're not professional firefighters. So who do you think you are telling professional talk show hosts how to run a talk show? Working 10 days a month.
How
about answering the question?
You want You want to go.
How about answering the question?
Jealous because of my schedule.
We're not jealous.
How about answering the question?
Well, what I'm
You
saying
can't
is,
answer
I think all of
questions.
you-
Because we embarrassed him by exposing how little firefighters work.
An idiot.
Wow. You know what? This is what I mean. When
This is what we mean too.
I think that you guys, every one of you, CNN,
Every one of us.
guys, you pander. You pander to your base to rile up your base. That's what every one of you guys.
Well, let me tell you something about you. Listen here. Excuse me. Here you are, a firefighter in South Florida, and you work 10 days a month, and, it's not like, how often do you go to a major fire? When's the last time you were at a major fire?
Well, why don't I just tell you that I work in a very busy city?
What was I'm not talking about a traffic act. When was the last time you were at a major building fire? Exactly. A major fire. When was the last time he can't even think of the last time he was at a major fire, Steve?
You can't.
To be honest with you, I can't.
Tell us, when was the last time you were at a major fire?
And where was it?
3 weeks ago.
And tell us about the fire.
Why don't we get more to what I was talking?
Well, see, listen. No. We're talking about you and your arrogance. You're spoiled. You're not a firefighter in like New York where you have to go in high rises. You're a firefighter in a bedroom community that rarely has fires, and if they do, it's a little tiny single-family home. You spray a little hose and you leave, and you work 10 days a month, and you're overpaid, and you're basically kind of like a government, almost like a welfare recipient. You barely work, and you get paid a lot of money.
I can't wait to tell my constituents. Doggone, I hope they're listening to this.
Your constituent? You have constituents?
Hold on. Whoa. You have, put them on hold. Put them on hold. Constituents?
Yeah.
You have constituents?
Voting
for you.
You know what? I love this because I cannot wait to tell my.
I know, because the spotlight's on you, and you can laugh and.
I don't know if he's a fireman. Listen, my father's a retired firefighter who was hurt in a major fire that he was inside of. So I know about firefighters. I've never heard a firefighter refer to other firefighters as constituents. They usually say, my brother firefighters. Maybe he's not a firefighter.
What goes with constituents? What goes with constituents is politicians.
That's right. Maybe he's the union guy.
Okay.
Maybe he's the union steward.
Okay. So what are you running for?
I'm not running for anything, but
sure you are. What about your constituents? Tell me about your constituents.
How about tell us how to hook up a hose to the fire truck? How about tell us how to hook up a hose to your fire truck or to a fire hydrant?
You won't be saying that if you need us to come cut you.
Oh, really? You're not going to put a fire out of my house because you don't like me? Is that what are you suggest? He's going to let my house burn, Steve. He just said you're going to let my house burn?
That's politics. That's politics. BS that I cannot stand.
Tell us how to hook a hose up to a fire hydrant or to your fire truck.
Excuse me, sir, Mr. Politician, you're losing votes fast.
Would you be asking that, Brian?
What I'm doing, obviously you're not a firefighter. Now he's Googling, Steve. He's Googling, trying to find a direction online. If you knew how to, like for example, Al Knight's here who does the Saturday show with Dr. Lemaski. He's using our studio starting this week. So I've been showing him how to run our studio during the breaks. And this guy here, if you're a professional firefighter, you would have been able to tell us at the snap of a finger how to hook the hose up to a hydrant or to
it's hooking up to a valve, but you guys wouldn't even thoroughly understand.
Oh, now he knows a word. See, just enough time to Google it. Pathetic. Stolen valor. Firefighters are heroes. Remember 9/11? No, he's stolen valor. Stolen valor, Steve. Oh, there he goes. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's running for the hills. And he says we'll regret it if we ever need him. So that suggests that if he is a firefighter, he'll let our house burn because he doesn't like us.
Very interesting.
A firefighter with constituents. You know who used to? You know what fire department had constituents? This is you'll know because you're from New York. Tammany Hall. Tammany Hall had. The Democrats would only let the fire department put out Tammany Hall loyalist fires. If you didn't support Tammany Hall, you didn't get your fire put out.
Party hasn't changed very much over the years.
Oh my gosh. But he's probably always wanted to be a firefighter. Oh my goodness. On the phones today? Have you been listening, Steve? Said 6? Listen, no, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour, and then we'll try to find a caller with a brain who's not trying to pass themselves off for something that they're not. How embarrassing. All right, listen, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We will be back right after this.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And I keep it dim to save the battery because I'm streaming for 3 hours.
Okay.
I can watch it on my iPad if I want, but it can get distracting.
So you have to bring up and have your own setup every time?
I keep everything in my filing cabinet. Just don't walk out with this one day because it has all my stuff in it.
Okay. Maybe I'll invest in lockers or something like that. Like Mr. Rogers used to come in and put the sweater on. I'll invest in lockers, and I'll have numbered lockers for us. Okay.
I don't leave my iPad in there. I take that. I just bring this every day. I leave everything else here.
Okay. Well, thanks.
But if you but you can't do a mic like this because if you did a mic like this, it wouldn't pick her up over there. It picks me up. It picks the speakers up. But if somebody on mic wouldn't get picked up,
speakers, right?
It's a bit of a thing because you got to turn. You'll have two. You got to turn the mics off to unmute the speakers.
Correct.
So whenever I have another person here, it gets a little awkward. And there are headphone jacks built in over there too.
I may just have it on her.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
How I set it up.
Yeah. So there's headphone jacks on that side, and then there's one here in the board, and then there's one down
But I
here.
want to get the headphones you have with the headphone and
This is the one they use on ESPN.
Howard Cosell.
Yeah. Well, I need my hands free to answer the phones and do it.
And please, and run this.
If I use the mic, I'm walking around. I'm off mic too much.
You're the producer, you're the board operator, you're the talent. Come on. Now, can you talk to Steve off the air?
No, that's the only draw. I could call him on his phone and talk to him.
Can't, there's no intercom?
Well, I had them disconnect the intercom because I don't want the talking to me.
Oh.
I had Don disconnect it because I didn't want my headphones. I know. I'm giving all my secrets away off the air. All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. And you want to go back to the phone, Steve? Oh, my goodness. These calls today. Usually Monday isn't like this. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi. I'm Carissa from Texas.
Hey, Carissa in Texas. How are you?
I'm good. Very good earlier. Hey, about Maxine Waters. Everybody keeps saying that they don't think anything will happen to her, but it can be up to them if something does happen to her.
Well, okay, let's clarify what you're saying because that's very vague. What we're talking about, you're talking about Maxine Waters. Will she be tossed off her committees? Will she be arrested? She was inciting violence, and that's a criminal offense.
Increasingly difficult, Dave, as the drama unfolds. It has become increasingly difficult for Maxine Waters to get the attention she feels she deserves. So she has escalated her behavior in order to try to attempt to regain the spotlight. And I don't think, unfortunately for her, I don't think it's going to work too well because there's too much else going on right now.
Yeah.
We're going to have the night they announce this verdict. I mean, maybe we'll catch a break and...
Right. Well, if everybody in each say would read their Constitution, Bill of Rights, in our Bill of
No, it doesn't say that. Okay, good morning, you're on the radio. Oh my goodness. Good morning, you're on the radio. I'll tell you after the show. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning. Yes, you're on. What's your name?
Hey, this is Maria from Florida. How you doing?
Maria in Florida. How are you?
I'm good. Just feeling. I had to go have a knee replacement.
Ooh.
Recover from the hospital.
Oh boy. Yo, you're in the hospital speaking to us now. Wow.
No. I'm out now.
Oh, you're home. Okay.
Days ago. Yeah.
Some of our earlier callers sounded like they were calling from a mental hospital.
Here. Yes, I was calling about Maxine Waters. That what she was doing. Oh my God, is she crazy or what?
Yes. Yes.
She is out of touch.
And she'll make a lot of other people crazy too.
Well, listen. No, I think what happened with Maxine Waters, and this is the truth. Okay, I'll throw this in. That story came out about the woman from Black Lives Matter that had the 5 houses, and Maxine Waters, that made her jealous. And she's seen that there's a lot of financial opportunity and benefit that you can exploit this movement for. And she's moving in to take...
Realize that yet?
No, this is new. She's really not been involved with Black Lives Matter too much.
But I can promise you she's dipped her pen in the public coffers.
Oh, yeah, she lives in a mansion that costs like $15 million or something. I mean, she's not hurting. But this is a new revenue stream, and she's, Black Lives Matter is going to be looking for a new leader possibly, and she wants to be able to pick who that is, maybe somebody in her family, I don't know. But it's mainly for financial reasons that Maxine Waters all of a sudden is involved in this.
Listen to that, was it a firefighter or whatever?
Well, do you believe that guy was a firefighter?
I don't believe
with his constituents.
Really?
Couldn't tell us how to connect a hose?
Yeah, y'all say that no man, cause I don't even be honest. If he's not on, like actually in the picture showing that he is a former firefighter or whatever, I don't believe it. That's crazy. How you can call somebody's show and blaming them for stuff?
Are you a new listener, or have you been listening for a while?
No, I've been listening for a while, for about over a year now.
Oh, that you're a newbie at a year. You're still a newbie.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your first time you called?
No, I call like once a week. I call like.
She calls earlier usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just usually calls earlier.
It's very nice speaking to you, and I hope you'll call a little more often. It's nice to talk to a rational person.
Oh yeah, especially after Stolen Valor. Hey, listen. All right, take care. Thanks for listening. All right, and calling. We appreciate it. Welcome to the show. All right, Chris Wallace. Oh yeah, he on the weekend. Chris Wallace. Let me play a clip. He had some guests on Fox News Sunday. I don't need to set it up. It speaks for itself. We'll talk about it after. This is Chris Wallace on Fox News Sunday yesterday.
I want to end on this subject, Senator Cornyn. I want to put up a tweet that you sent out this week.
Cornyn is a Republican, which is important for people to know that don't know.
I want to end on this subject, Senator Cornyn. I want to put up a tweet that you sent out this week. Here it is. The president is not doing cable news interviews. Tweets from his account are limited. And when they come unimaginably conventional, the public comments are largely scripted. Biden has opted for fewer sit-down interviews with mainstream outlets and reporters. Invites the question, is he really in charge? My question, I guess, is, Senator Cornyn, is that helpful to be sending out a tweet questioning the President Biden's mental faculties?
Okay, now before we get to the rest of it, Chris Wallace thinks it's inappropriate to question the mental capabilities of Biden. Was it what was it about questioning the President Trump's loyalty? Was he in bed with Russia? I mean, all of a sudden we're not to question the president, but let's listen to Cornyn. He gives a response.
Reporters invites the question, is he really in charge? My question, I guess, is, Senator Cornyn, is that helpful to be sending out a tweet questioning the President Biden's mental faculties?
Well, Chris, thank you for the question, because I think...
Now, keep in mind, Biden has the nuclear football. He commands our military. He's making decisions that affect all our lives, but we're not to question him nor his mental capabilities, according to Chris Wallace.
There's been a lot of confusion in the Twitterverse about that. That actually was a quote from a Politico story.
Now, Politico was liberal, so now Chris Wallace is in trouble because Cornyn was quoting a liberal news outlet.
That I pasted into a tweet, and then I simply asked a question. What I'm trying to do is reconcile the Joe Biden we heard from on January the 20th, the Joe Biden that many of us know from his previous service in the United States Senate, from the Joe Biden we're seeing now jamming through $1.9 trillion of spending bills. I've learned in Washington you not only need to listen to what people say, you need to watch what they do. And so far there's a conflict that I'm trying to reconcile, and I bet I'm not the only one.
But just real quickly, do you have questions as to whether Joe Biden is really in charge and whether, frankly, he's a...
Yes.
That tweet was not meant to suggest anything about the...
Oh, okay, so he's backpedaling, but Chris Wallace, come on. Obviously, Biden on last week couldn't greet the Prime Minister from Japan, Jack Posobiec, from One American News, tweeted this. He wasn't up to it.
And every decision this guy makes has ended in disaster. I mean, he can't handle the simplest problem. And when he's called upon to do that, where are his good decisions?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This he has done admirably. He has highlighted and drawn the attention of the world to tonight on Hannity, where our next president is going to tell you how it should be done.
Exactly.
It'll be hopefully the beginning of a turnaround, because, brother, this country needs Donald Trump now like never before. Believe me.
Over the weekend, this picture surfaced on Twitter. President Trump had dinner at Mar-a-Lago with Governor Ron DeSantis over the weekend. And at Mar-a-Lago, and other people are starting to talk about what we were talking about Ron DeSantis being President Trump's running mate in 2024. And it looks like something's happening. Oh, today at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, Mike Lindell's social media platform is going live online. Frank Speech. FrankSpeech.com. It's going to be online. You're going to be able to access it right after the show's over. At 9 a.m. Eastern, you'll be able to access it in just 19 minutes. And then at 10 o'clock Eastern, Mike Lindell says you'll be able to go on the platform and set up your own profiles. And let me tell you something. Mike Lindell, there are going to be more Democrats like the fake firemen they called in that are going to do everything they can to sabotage this event. And I'm going to make this little prediction, okay? This is a brand new venture, and Mike Lindell is doing something that's never been done before. There are at least 100 million people in this country that are waiting by their computers to access this website this morning in about 18 minutes, okay? There has never been a new social media platform or private website put out that had 100 million or more people ready to sign on to it the moment it went live. Okay? The last time this many people, even close to it, were ready to go on a website was when the Obamacare website went live, and that, remember, it collapsed immediately. So you guys got to be patient with Mike Lindell, because not only are 100 million Trump people going to try to access this site today, but another 100 million or more Democrats who are going to want to sabotage it are going to try to go there. The site's probably going to get overloaded early on, because I've never seen these other websites, when they go live online, don't have that many people to go to them. They become famous and popular later. We've never had a launch of something new that has so many people trying to jump onto it at once. So I'm predicting glitches and everything else. Just be patient with Mike Lindell. But maybe it'll go perfect. But it could be very glitchy today. And the media will not cover this event. This is Steve, there has never been this many people waiting for a website to go live as this morning, Mike Lindell's new website. This has never happened before, and it's not even being discussed in the news because they don't want to give publicity to it. Okay, but if there's technical glitches today, they'll break their silence and start reporting on the technical glitches, which should be expected when something new goes on technically. All right, let's take one call, maybe two, and then we'll break. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, good morning, Brian and Steve. This is Cheryl from Michigan.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hello, Cheryl.
Hi.
Hey, I got a question for you. I saw your governor on TV the other day, Whitmer. Do you see what she has behind her? She has a pillow with Fauci's face on it behind her in her office. What is that about? Have you seen that, Steve? Yeah, Governor Whitmer. She has a pillow with Dr. Fauci's face on it behind her in her office. It's very weird.
I think it's birds of a feather flock together, honestly.
Yeah. All right, so what's on your mind? What'd you call us about?
Well, I called last week, and I finally...
Great.
We love them, and what I'm calling for is when they talked about Mike's Frank speech that's coming onto the system here between 8 and 10, I believe. I heard them say that he was planning on the system for 4 years.
Yes.
Wonder what tipped him off to get a 4-year head start, and having a feeling that Americans would get their speech taken from them.
Well, it started happening to people back then when Trump, remember Laura Loomer was and Milo and some others. So so there were some people that were facing problems back then. What Mike Lindell is going to do today when this goes live is the plan, if everything goes well, is on 9 o'clock Eastern, you'll be able to get a sneak preview of it. At 10 o'clock, he's going to go live himself with a series of interviews with people, is what he says. So we'll find out. I hope it goes without a hitch, but I'll tell you what happens. Anything that's technical and new will have problems. And I'm sure they've done all kinds of testing, but he has a lot of haters out there that want this to fail, and these liberals out there are very deceitful people, and they're going to try to sabotage his system today. We know this.
He's planning for this, and I have a feeling he's going to go without a hiccup. I really do.
I hope. Yeah. I hope so. No, I'm going to be there. I'll be watching live, and hopefully it all goes without a hitch. But, hey, listen, we got to run for our break, but thanks for the call. Okay, we're going to take our last break of the day, and Steve, when we come back, it'll be time for the Gold Report. Okay? All right, we'll be right back after this.
I think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus. Steve Kane's wife did, and she went to any lab test now at Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant.
Hey there. Unfortunately, Michelle, there's no app for Frank's speech. Well, it's not over yet, Lori.
Radio, just
Just search for WWNN.
All right, it is that time that everybody waits for on the Steve Kane Show. The Gold Report, brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. William, one of the greatest and most proficient person in the world, in the wonderful world of the precious metals. He's been advising clients on trends and movements in that world over 50 years. And if you followed his advice through the years, if you followed him on the Steve Kane Show, you certainly have benefited financially. Let's see how the metals are doing this morning. William, what's it look like?
Looking good, Steve. The markets continue to hold very nicely to their new highs that we've seen as we saw the breakout take place last week, and gold move up dramatically along with silver and the other metals. We're off to a slow start so far this morning, but gold closed out the week last Friday at $1,776.50, which was up $12.90 on Friday. Silver was up 13 cents, closing out the week at $25.95 the ounce, while platinum was up $8 at $1,197, and palladium gained $35 on Friday, closing at $2,684. This morning we see gold up $1 right now at $1777.50. Silver's down 10 cents at $25.85 the ounce. Platinum up another $15 at $1,212, and palladium gaining a record high now, I think, at up $46 this morning at $2,730 the ounce. The U.S. dollar looking weaker this morning, down pretty much a full half point on the U.S. dollar index at 91.10. Oil holding stubbornly above $60 right now, at about $63 a barrel. Also, the cryptocurrency is not doing necessarily all that good, with Bitcoin down to about 56,800. If you remember, it was about up around 65,000 last week. So that's pretty much where we are this morning, starting off the week quietly, but we'll see how we finish out the day.
Well, it looks like a great day to...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road, right here in Boca Raton, just right around the corner from our radio station. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, and you can call over there. They open weekdays at 10, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Tomorrow, yes. All right, take care. All right, now Jack Prosobic, who's the big Washington reporter for One American News, you know who he is, he's a good guy. He just tweeted out, listen to this, he tweeted out to Kevin McCarthy, you have a sitting congresswoman from California, this is Maxine Waters, right? This is Jack Prosobic, just tweeted this to Kevin McCarthy. You have a sitting congresswoman from California inciting riots across state lines in Minnesota. Block all legislation and hearings until she is stripped of her committees. Now, remember, they took Marjorie Taylor Greene off her committees, and I can't even remember what she did, other than they just don't like her. And this is this thing with Maxine Waters, it's actually heating up, which you wouldn't normally think would happen with Maxine Waters doing something. You would just assume she'd get a free pass, but it doesn't look to be that way. Not this time.
My position is that we should not pay attention to her. I think that's what she wants. I think she wants to get arrested. I think she wants to be the...
Well, I want her too. So Maxine and I agree. I don't know, Steve. No, I think there's so many people that are agitating trouble up there that if somebody as high profile as her is held accountable, it might stop some lower people that are affected from being so vocal. Minneapolis, they're going into lockdown in that city up there right now. They're starting a lockdown because of the Chauvin verdict. So no, I don't agree with you. No, no, I don't agree with any. I totally disagree with you. You don't think this Maxine Waters thing is a story anybody should be covering? I totally disagree with you. You know, she did what they accused Trump of doing in Washington.
Are you saying that you want to see Maxine Waters for the?
Yeah, no, one of them. Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah.
She gets married. Look at what happens. She gets arrested. They arraign her and all this kind of stuff.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Total focus of the news cycle all day.
Well, what do you think? What do you think should be the main story today?
I don't know. The fact that Biden has given up on the border.
Nah. Yeah.
Issue a winning issue for his constituents.
Nah. Okay. All right. Let's take some more calls. Good morning. You're on the radio. Oh boy. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
Oh, hi, it's Brian.
Yeah. Juliet.
Who is this?
Juliet from Sacramento, California.
Yeah, I'm calling a little later today. Hey, I was going to say about Maxine Waters, too. Yesterday was the first time I've ever, I always tell you guys, I always wear my Trump gear, sweatshirt, and mask in public.
Hello?
And this is the first time
You there?
I've ever had a problem.
Okay, hold on.
Actually, at a store where someone says, and I did have my mask, ma'am, you got to wear your mask.
Mm-hmm. You don't get that far. I was at a gun show on Saturday here in Florida, and when I walked in, the guy in front of me at the gun show was arguing with the cops about wearing the mask, and they made him wear it because the gun show's at private property. The mask isn't going away anytime soon. And in Oregon, they're going to make it permanent. It's going to be a part of our culture. And I was out the other day with my wife, and we saw this woman who was like a business lady come out of a store, and she was in very expensive clothes, and she was wearing a mask that matched her outfit, and it was an expensive mask. You know what I mean? So even the fashion people are making them. They're here to stay for a long time.
Yeah, my thing is, I've been to that store many times. First time I seen this African American, she didn't like me since the minute she seen my sweater. I could tell. I've been to that store many times. Never seen her actually. But
oh yeah, we talked before. You're the one I told you. I'd asked you before if you say nobody says anything to you, and I asked you if you're hot, and you said you're hot, right? So does it surprise you that a woman said something to you? Because men aren't going to say anything because they're trying to hook up with you. They're checking you out. They like the T-shirts probably because you wear them tight. Of course, a woman, a straight woman said something to you. There you go. And you get welcome to the rest of the world. All right, hey, listen, we got to run. We got to run. Oh, Richard Pearl, whose show Richard Pearl on Politics follows the Steve Kane Show every weekday at 9 a.m. on this radio station. Good, happy Monday morning, Richard Pearl.
Well, good morning. I was listening to part of your show, and you were talking about
That's right. That's right. And, you know, Simply Natural is open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9. They ship anywhere, so if you're out of town, you can't make it into the store, you can call the store. But they're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. The number over there is 954-741-4045. 954-741-4045. And Simply Natural is located in the city of Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University Drive. And, of course, Richard Pearl's radio show, Richard Pearl on Politics, is coming up next on this radio station, so don't touch that dial. All right, have a great show, Richard Pearl. We'll be tuned in. All right, take care. You want to sign us off, Steve?
Okay, that does it for today. Your homework for tomorrow is watch Hannity tonight to see the triumphant return of Donald Trump, which we will discuss at length on tomorrow's show. So until then, we're going to take a little break here. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 a.m. Until then, on behalf of my son, Tyler, who is the engineering boss of the show, Brian, who's the boss of pretty much everything else on the show, and I am yours truly, Steve Kane. Till tomorrow, God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, that's it for the radio show today, guys. Now, listen, later, I'll have a new podcast uploaded at 6 o'clock tonight. It'll go live with a live premiere with a chat room. I premiere my podcast at 6 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube channel here, and usually premiere it with the chat room, as we will have, so you guys can be in the chat room. Kathy and I will be in there with you chatting away, all right? Okay, guys, listen, make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell, and before you leave, like the video. Please like the video. That helps a lot. All right, guys, I got to run. I got somewhere I got to be, but thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.